We actually haven't said anything on social media about this. She stopped birth control like a month ago.
I would not be surprised if you're pregnant right now. That happened to us. Abby pulled the goalie and boom, right away. You guys recently consulted a psychic.
That lady was like a real psychic.
She made like a bunch of predictions for our life and stuff.
It was crazy. Everything that woman said actually did happen.
Brits have bad teeth though, right? Your teeth look great, by the way, so I'm not saying anything about you.
I don't know if this is true, but I read that statistically Brits actually have less cavities than Americans.
My biggest thing was like I never got to give his mom grandkids. In my dream, I was with his mom. I was in a hospital bed and she was like, I'm always going to be here with you. John Krasinski was also there. I don't know why.
We sat down with long-distance TikTok couple Sam and Monica. In 2021, Sam received the horrible news that he lost his mom to cancer. It came as a complete shock to the entire family, especially because it happened just months before Sam and Monica's wedding. We talk about everything from controversy over Monica taking Sam's last name, trying for a baby, and what it means to lose your Nando's virginity. You guys have been together longer than us, but you are still somehow in the honeymoon phase. How is that possible? Tell me about it.
That's a good question.
I don't know if we actually still are in the honeymoon phase. I think we're just so reliant on each other.
Yeah.
That we just
it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
I like to think we're still in the honeymoon phase.
Are we?
I
think I am.
You guys seem
I think I am.
you guys seem very like bubbly and in love in your videos. Like, is that how you actually are all the time?
You know what's crazy? We're actually worse in person.
Yeah.
Really?
Not like from like a PDA kind of. I thought you farted there.
Oh no, this is I didn't fart. I was just opening up the can.
I was like, do I look?
I'm drinking a carbonated beverage.
The way that he said,
where were you gonna look?
I thought you farted.
Well, I just wanted to see like a little flutter.
the way that fart sounds so much more elegant.
I just spilled all over myself. Okay,
It's off to a
you
great
carry
This is
on.
off to a
Yeah, you
great
said fart so elegantly.
fart. And I,
Wait, how do I say fart
You said
differently?
fart.
Fart.
we're like,
fart.
we say fart, and that's just not cute.
Dude,
Actually, I say two.
I'm
The
gonna do a fart.
TikTok of you doing an American accent, ordering coffee. Dead.
Oh my
You
gosh.
nailed
But
it.
you know what? Thank
you
you.
nailed it.
Well, I've got some practice because every time we go through a drive-through, the kind of intercom system muffles my voice, so I have to put on a fake American accent. Otherwise, they don't understand me.
His name's always Sal.
Yeah, like
always
it's
Sal?
always Sal. Every time I say, "Hey, my name's Sam," they think it's Sal because I have to go Sam. Hey, I'm Sam. And then they understand that my name's Sam.
Wait, so can you order how you would currently, and then do
so,
your
like,
American version?
Okay,
If we go through a
as a
drive-through-
Brit, how do you give us an impression of how you order at Starbucks? Go.
No, I
Okay,
want
so
the British
first
one.
I'll do English, like how I actually
Oh, okay.
order, and then so like when I'm not thinking about it, I'll go up and I'll say, "Hey, I'll have a water and a coffee, please." And they're like, "You'll have a what?" And then a water and a coffee.
I don't understand when you say water though. Like
Water.
Like in your
Oh,
British.
water.
Like I hear it.
Water.
How do they not know what he's saying?
But like I said, I think it's the intercom system that
Oh,
like
yeah,
muffles
maybe.
my voice, so they're like, "You want a what?"
That's hilarious.
But what type of coffee do you get though? Because it's
I get
he gets half and half. That's where he gets thrown off when you say.
half
and half.
when we used to live in New York, like half and half was like the big, like I always got half and half.
the way you just said that.
I don't like how he says that.
And I say
like
half
the
and
British
half.
way.
So like I would go into like if we got bagels or we went to the deli or something, I'd be like, "Can I have a large half and half?" And they're like, "A large what?" I'm like, "Oh, half and half."
That's hilarious.
No, I didn't know that Monica was from New York, and I was like, wait a second, you're from the East Coast.
Yeah, I was talking before when you were over there, and he's like, "What did you say?" You're like, "Where are you from?"
Because I
From the
could
East
just tell
Coast.
there was the way that you were saying, yeah,
Horrible.
Yeah, you said
How
horrible.
do you guys say horrible?
That's how you said it.
Horrible.
Horrible.
I say horrible. Oh wait, I kind of say it like you.
How do you say?
I say horrible,
horrible.
but without like the har. Like it's like horrible. That was a bit accentuated.
I don't even know anymore. No, when you say a word too many times and then you
Yeah.
don't know if
It
you're
doesn't
saying
sound
it right.
like a
Now I'm
word.
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
I say it?
I want to go back to the part of like how you guys don't fight. Actually,
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean we bicker, but I think the main
I don't think we've
thing.
had, like a big fight in a long time.
I mean, we just try not to do anything wrong to put ourselves into the position when we get into a big fight. But we definitely bicker. Like we 100% bicker. Like I get frustrated with it all the time because all she wants to eat is like chicken nuggets and pizza. I'm like, no, you're getting much better.
Yeah.
You're getting much better. You now eat beans as well.
you don't like
Beans.
beans.
I don't
you
eat beans.
Did you see the video
I do
where she
not eat
tried to bake
beans.
bean?
You don't like baked beans?
No.
Oh,
I
No.
love
and I don't
baked
like what they
beans.
do to him either.
I have them on everything. I have them on pizza.
Do you fart when you
I
eat
fart. Just a little
Say
toot.
fart ever again now.
that's so
No,
funny.
she tried a bean and she freaked out and acted like it was the worst thing in the entire world.
It was.
I was like, it's a
It
vegetable.
was.
Oh, I love beans.
Can we talk about your love story for a second? Because if I did my research correctly, you were kind of stalking Sam on Twitter, right? Like you were
So,
like
a little bit.
sliding into the DMs. Can you tell me about this?
I did slide into the DMs. So basically, we had a mutual friend that we both met through like YouTube and everything. So she sent me a picture of like a screenshot of Sam's Twitter, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to this like social media thing. I'm gonna like hang out. Like this is the guy that's setting it all up." And I literally zoomed, and I'm like, "Who is that man?"
You know what's
I like
awesome?
literally was in love already.
I was gonna say the first thing she said is she texted our friend Emmy back and she said, "I'm gonna marry that man one day."
I was like, I want that man to love me. And like at this point, London was like my dream destination. I've never been there. I like never really traveled at all. So I was like never thinking I was even gonna meet this guy. And she like sent me another picture of her, Sam, and this other guy. And she's like, "Oh, there's like this is another British guy." And I was like, no, the middle guy. And it was Sam in the middle. So I was like, I don't know. Immediately it's from seeing him, I was like, I'm in love with this guy. Never think I'm gonna meet him.
Look at him though.
Literally, the
look at
voice,
this dude.
everything about him was perfection. So I went to go visit her in London. She lives in Scotland, but I went to go visit her in London, and she couldn't meet me because she had finals. So she's like, "Oh my god, like I can't come down. Let me ask Sam." And I'm like, "Okay,
and I was actually
see."
she showed me a picture of Monica, and I was like, she's a New Yorker. I was like, she's an American from the big city, the Big Apple. Actually, she lives on Long Island, or lived on Long Island, so not actually from the Big Apple, but still. I was like, wow, like this cute American girl's into me. And I was a broke 19-year-old kid. I didn't have $1 to my name. So I was like, I don't know how the heck I'm going to make this work, but I really, really want to see this girl. So Emmy, our mutual friend, messaged me, and she was like, hey, like Monica's going to fly into the UK, into London. She's booked her flight months in advance. And I've got exams at university in Edinburgh, so I can't get down to kind of see her in London. Is there any chance you're like down in London at the time? I was like, oh yeah.
I feel like it was like a 10-minute drive.
Yeah, let me just hop on a quick train. It was like a 3-hour train ride. I grew up in a town called Chester, conveniently for her about half an hour from Harry Styles, which I still kind of low-key think is why we're together. But
only half of the reason.
Okay, I was actually curious because you're a big Harry Styles fan.
Oh, it's like unhealthy.
And so like meeting this, this cute British boy from the UK, like you're probably like, oh my gosh, this is my Harry right here.
Literally, because I like it was kind of weird. Growing up, I had British flags in my room. I loved British music that like most Americans never even like heard of. So like I felt like I was like British growing up.
Did you listen to the Beatles?
Weird. Not really.
I listened to the Beatles so much.
Now I do.
When I was a kid, our neighbor, for whatever reason, he would just burn us these CDs with like all the Beatles songs. That's awesome. So I was listening to Yellow Submarine. I was just like jamming to every Beatles song you could mention when I was a kid. And we would just play soccer. And I thought he like convinced us that he was British.
He was like, no, it's called football. You're like, oh, he's a Brit.
Yeah, no, seriously. And then like my brother for his 3rd grade history project, talked about Guy Fawkes and all this British history, and we started eating scone. Oh, Guy Fawkes.
I don't even know
Fawkes. Who that is. So I totally botched that. I guess, but
no, you're good. It's an accent.
But
it's the American accent
anyway,
way of saying it.
I mean, we ate scones though, so like.
Okay, so you were kind of British.
I love it.
Basically, yeah.
I feel like. Maybe did One Direction kind of make this like British phase like enter the US? I remember that phase. It was
big time.
Honestly, you were always like a big fan of like McFly and
do you guys know McFly?
Busted and the Vamps and stuff like that as well, weren't you? Which is
like bands that just never really made it over here. But I was just like, I loved everything British.
I do like the Vamps. Cool. They got
I love
their song All Night. Oh
my gosh, yeah.
I get chills listening to that song.
That's me with every Harry Styles song. There you go.
Here I am, a 25-year-old dad of 2, and I'm listening to boy bands,
Oh,
you
know me too.
What? That's the best kind of music.
Literally, I'm listening to him, I'm like, Bradley's got such a good voice.
Bradley. See, I didn't even know that.
I remember when Justin Bieber came out when Justin came out with the Purpose album, I was like secretly listening to it and loving it, but I was like, I can't tell anybody.
No, you're not allowed to.
Tell your secret. The world needs to know.
So, what was it? Probably 2012 or something? 2010? No, probably 2009, actually. It was ages ago, wasn't it? When Justin Bieber first came out with like the flippy hair and the purple caps and all that kind of stuff. I bought a purple snapback and a pair of Super TK Society shoes. I Googled which shoes Justin Bieber wears and I bought them.
And he left the sticker on the hat because Justin Bieber left the
sticker. Oh my
word.
Everyone did that.
Oh, man.
So you had Bieber fever.
I did. I wanted to be. I still kind of do. I mean, he's a cool guy.
We all have Bieber.
But like, I wanted to be Justin Bieber so bad. I started posting covers on YouTube. I was a choir boy when I was growing up.
Wait, you sing too?
Yeah.
No way.
I was in Chester Cathedral Choir growing up, so I was a little choir boy and in the choir in my school and all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of got out of school and I played a bunch of instruments and all that kind of stuff. And I got out of school and started kind of switching from classical music to more like kind of poppy stuff. That's why I kind of partly started posting on YouTube and stuff. In like 2012, I wanted to be the next Justin Bieber so bad.
He had the hair.
Didn't happen, but
he did have the hair.
Dude, I
had the flippy hair and everything.
That's so funny because in it was either 2011 or 2010, I posted a video of me singing "Baby," and I thought that's all you had to do. I was like, I posted my one video.
You're like, Scooter Braun is gonna find me.
Scooter's gonna see it. I'm gonna get picked up. This is it.
You know what's crazy? Why do we have exactly the same childhood? Yeah. I did exactly the same. Cody Simpson blew up off "I'm Yours" by Jason Mraz. Do you remember Cody Simpson?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
He blew up off "I'm Yours," Jason Mraz. So like the week later, I posted that, and I was like, I'm gonna blow up. I'm gonna be famous. No.
Cute.
Yeah, I think what people don't realize is like there's so much luck involved with that, and then a lot of the people that you do see blow up have been grinding for like 10 years.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And they just worked so hard that eventually, when their lucky moment came, they had already like done all the work to get there.
Like
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran, yeah. He was busking and playing little tiny shows and
worked so hard
stuff for years and years. Did you guys hear his first ever demo from when he was like 15? He was busking.
Is it good?
It was terrible. And genuinely, he said it himself. Like, he posted it being like, guys, this is what I want sounded like. And with consistency and like singing all day, every day, and just going for it, like, this is the end product. Wow. I mean, he's much too modest to say that, but that's basically what he was
That's
getting
good,
at.
though. I truly believe that hard work trumps talent any day of the week, because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not going to work hard, someone who's going to work harder than you will beat you eventually.
Absolutely. Yeah. Talent will definitely give you a head start, but hard work and perseverance is the way to actually kind of push forward. Is there an obsession with American girls in the UK? Like, in the same way that all these American girls are like, I love the British boys. Is that a thing in the UK? I mean, I think there's an obsession with like American actresses and singers in the UK, but it's not like a thing like British boys aren't like, I want to find an American wife. Like, it's not like that, but like growing up, I had the biggest crush on like Jessica Alba and Mila Kunis and Victoria Justice and like people like that. Like, so my like crushes growing up were all American girls, but it was just because they were on TV and in movies and stuff. Like, it wasn't specifically because they were American. Gotcha. And were you watching the American shows like on Nickelodeon, Drake and Josh? Yeah, were you watching? I loved Drake and Josh. Okay, same. Megan. I can't do it. Of all lines. Megan. Or like Jimmy Neutron. Did you watch Jimmy Neutron as a kid? No, that was my Jimmy Neutron. I loved Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents. Those were my shows as a child. We had Fairly Odd Parents. I didn't really watch it much. I watched Recess, Tom and Jerry, The Flintstones. You know what he didn't watch? SpongeBob. What? He doesn't get any of my SpongeBob lines. Yeah, but all my SpongeBob lines, you're always like, what are you talking about? That was my. I know the song now because she has watched it so much since we've been together. She's been an adult the whole time we've been together. What is the biggest misconception about British people? Misconception. Misconception. I have purse. Please tell me what I'm talking about. Biggest misconception. What do people have? What is it that people have wrong about the Brits? I have purse. You know what? I think the biggest misconception. What you guys say? What's going on? I don't have TikTok because you messed up what you said. Yeah, do that all the time. Do you know the TikTok? I have purse. I what? Guys, no. What is it? Where they mess up what they're saying, and then he says like, I haven't. Forget it. I don't even know how to That's funny. It. Forget it. I haven't seen the TikTok, but I think it's so funny when people mess up their words because I do it all the time. It was a whole TikTok. You know what? I did it. We were being filmed for this thing the other day, and it was like so much pressure because there was tons of cameras around me and stuff. And I said a line where I said, in typical British fashion. And I was so nervous I said fashion. I went, in typical British fashion. I was like, oh my word. And I just rolled with it. I was like, yeah, that's how I say it. It sounded right. Yeah. So yeah, it sounded good. That's just how I say it. No, but biggest misconception I would say is Americans all think that Brits have terrible food, but I think the food in the UK is amazing. But Brits have bad teeth though, right? Isn't that a thing? Statistically. I thought you were going to say that. I don't know if this is true. Your teeth look great, by the way, so I'm not saying anything about you. You're really flattering me today, Matt. I love it. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So yours. Thank you so much. What was I going to say? Yeah, no. Was talking before, now the teeth. Apparently, I read a statistic. Maybe we should just sit by each other in our wives. You want to hold hands? Yeah. Do you want to just budge over next to Abby, honey? Would that be okay? Here. Let's switch it up. Should we go sit by each other? I was like, are you serious? I was like, is that happening? What was I going to say? Yeah, no. I read it on Instagram, so it's probably not true, but I read that statistically, Brits actually have less cavities than Americans per tooth. Why? Do you know Brits don't get their teeth cleaned? Yeah, that's not a thing in the UK. I mean, maybe it was just my dentist because I had a really dodgy dentist growing up.
Oh,
like it's really like he got his license taken away and he moved to Holland and stuff.
Okay.
Like it was dodgy. He was doing like illegal stuff.
Well, that right there is why people have bad teeth in the UK.
Exactly.
Shout out to Claritin for supporting this episode and providing us with samples.
If I didn't have Claritin as a kid, I would have been screwed. I had really bad allergies, especially living in the Midwest. And so I took a Claritin like literally every day growing up.
Yeah, I think it probably depends on what you're allergic to, but your allergies have been a lot better when you're not in the Midwest. So like when we went back to visit family recently, they were flaring up again.
Yeah.
But then I hear people here that have really bad allergies. So it probably just depends on what you're allergic to. Luckily for those of us who live with the symptoms of allergies, we can live Claritin Clear with Claritin D. It's designed for serious allergy sufferers. Claritin D has 2 powerful ingredients in just 1 pill that relieve your allergy symptoms and decongest your nose so you can breathe better. This double action combination of prescription strength allergy medicine and the best decongestant available relieves sneezing, a runny nose, itchy and watery eyes, an itchy nose and throat, and sinus congestion and pressure with ease. So
that's awesome.
Matt, I can fondly remember Matt when we first started dating, when he'd come to visit me at my parents' house. We were still in high school, and so I had my childhood cat that had lived in our house forever. He lived a long life, and he was a long-haired cat that shed a lot, and Matt would sneeze like 50 times in a row.
Yeah, so I had to take Claritin at Abby's house, or I would just have sneeze attacks nonstop.
And it really helped. Ready to live life as if you don't have allergies? It's time to live Claritin Clear. Fast and powerful relief is just a quick trip away. Find Claritin D at the pharmacy counter. Ask for Claritin D at your local pharmacy counter. You don't even need a prescription. Go to Claritin.com right now for a discount so you can live Claritin Clear. Use as directed.
It was really bad, yeah. I had a root canal on one of my teeth when I was like 7 or 8 years old or something like that. And
That's pretty
it was only
serious.
when I came to America, I got with an American dentist, Dr. Leth. He's awesome. And he was like, so you see like there's like a tiny bit of discoloration on one of my teeth down here. And he was like, so you know what that discoloration is? I'm like, no, I've been brushing it like crazy. He was like, well, you had a root canal. And he said the way it was done, apparently they stopped that method like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, or something crazy. And he was like, you know, it had to have been done when you were like 7 years old. And he was like, can you remember having a root canal when you were 7 years old? And I was like, no, why would I have had a root canal at 7 years old? And apparently this guy was just beating the system and making a killing. And I asked my dad about him a couple of years ago. And like I said, he got his license removed, and he got a divorce. His wife divorced him, and he left and fled to Holland.
Oh, frick.
That
So
is like
really
a movie.
was something
Wow.
serious.
That really plays into the whole British teeth thing,
Sounds
doesn't
like
it?
Dr. Death
Has
to me.
this happened to other dentists in the UK? Like,
Not that I know of.
Are all your friends like, dude, same, my dentist fled to
same.
Holland?
Oh my god.
It's all like Jennifer Aniston in Horrible Bosses.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, can we take it back to your love story?
Yeah,
Because
sorry, I've been blabbering like crazy.
Sorry, everybody.
I
So,
was lost, so you're on a
London.
train.
So
I
I
got-
go down to London.
So we'll rewind, yeah. So she flew into London. I told her that it was like a 20-minute train ride or something ridiculous. I was like, yeah, like everyone thinks the UK is tiny. Like everyone literally thinks
You're
the
like,
UK is
it's
just
3
London.
hours. Matt, get it together.
I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry.
Story to Sam's
I'm gonna shut up.
How do we get on about my teeth?
Gosh.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I blather so much. It's terrible. Like we have this.
He's about
I'm gonna
to
stop
blabber
blabbering.
again.
It's okay.
I'll stop blabbering. Anyway, I got on this three-hour train journey. We met up in London. I was meant to put her on a train to Scotland, but I mean, we kind of semi-planned it in advance. Like, she booked a hotel just in case we had chemistry, kind of thing.
Not for that.
Not for that.
Oh.
I was a gentleman.
Okay. I was
Nothing
like,
happened.
Not that you just made
Okay.
it sound like I was
Yeah.
like,
No, I mean, like, in case we wanted to stay together in London
Yeah,
and,
like,
hang out and explore it.
one night stand,
I was
like
going
all
to say
that.
explore
Yeah,
each other,
definitely not
explore the
that.
area.
Oh my
We didn't
God.
do that. Well, I think I was a gentleman, right?
You were.
I didn't make a move at all
He did not
until
make
you
a
did.
move for 4 days. What? I did not make the move. Wait, you just said I didn't make a move until you did.
you
I
guys
did not
made-
make the first move.
So
it was 4 days.
Okay, 4 days.
But we were talking online for a
We
long
met
time.
on the 11th of October,
Ish.
and I asked her to be my girlfriend on the 16th of October, and it was then.
Yeah.
So it was 5
In
days.
2015.
In 2015, yeah.
2015.
Yeah, wow,
Yeah.
that sounds like a long time ago. I feel old. But
That's insane. How old are you guys?
I'm 29.
I'm 27.
I just
was
turned 29,
18 when we
yeah.
met.
Which is weird because
So young.
I've got such a baby face. I still get asked for ID, which is amazing. Not that I don't even drink, so I don't know why I get asked for ID, but
You
I do.
really could pass for 19.
Cute.
Oh
I appreciate
my
that.
God.
You guys both are youthful.
Thank you. So are you guys.
Yeah,
You guys are flattering us so much. This is amazing. I'm going to come in much more often.
You made a move 4 days in then?
5 days in. Well, actually,
No, it was 4.
so we basically, so we landed in London. I took her to Nando straight away. Like, Nando's is the spot in England that everyone has to go to. Like, there's a whole thing in England about losing your Nando's virginity. And it's
You're
like,
kidding.
It's like when people had their first Nando's, it's like a big thing. Like, Ed Sheeran wrote a song about it. Like, it's huge. Big up to Nando's. Like, everyone loves Nando's.
But why though? Why do people lose their
just so
virginity
good.
in Nando's?
No, I mean, it's lose their Nando's virginity.
Matt,
So it's
you
like the first time they eat
I've been to the
Nando's,
restaurant
they've
to
lost
lose
their
my
Nando's
virginity.
virginity.
I'm so dumb. I'm not tracking at all. Can someone please explain this to me?
So, like, the first time they eat Nando's, it's like
Losing-
they're losing their.
Losing their Nando's
Oh
virginity.
my-
So
Dead.
it's-
You thought he brought me to a restaurant?
Okay. No, I
Oh
thought
my
Nando's
gosh,
was like a
imagine.
beach. I thought it was like a beach, like Miami. It's like, we went to like the beach and stayed at this nice hotel.
It's also legal, Matt.
So Nando's, sorry, what is it?
It's a restaurant that
restaurant.
everyone talks about. So it's
think
like it's a big thing when you
South
have your
African.
first.
Not with you.
Is there something like,
It's
is the
just
food an
amazing.
aphrodisiac? Like, what is it?
No, it
about
has
it?
nothing
No,
to do
it's
with
got
sex.
nothing to do with it. Am
No,
I allowed to
it's
say
just-
sex on the podcast?
It's literally just a restaurant
You
that
can
like
say sex.
every British person loves. So it's
Okay,
like the
okay.
first time you have it, it's like a big deal. So it's like losing
Got
your
it.
Nando's virginity.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
He
I
did
took
not
her to
bring you there.
Nando's, and it's some of the best chicken you'll ever eat. It's like it's incredible. So I took her there, and I was like, and she's obsessed with Ed Sheeran as well. And I was like, Ed Sheeran loves this place. He's got a black card, so he gets it for free every time he goes. And
No
all that
way.
kind of stuff. Yeah, really cool. And then so we get in, we look at the menu, and she sees it says butterfly chicken, which means obviously the chicken breast has
I
been
didn't know that.
butterflied. It's been split in half and
Oh, yeah.
butterflied
Yeah, I
the
did not
chicken.
know that that's what
She
that
read
meant.
butterfly chicken. She was like, I'm not hungry.
Because I'm like, I'm
She
in the
ate,
UK. I'm like,
stale
maybe it's like they
Pringles.
eat like
Butterflies?
butterflies or something. I had no idea. So yeah, that
So-
was not a good first date.
You said
Yeah.
you're not hungry, you didn't eat?
Yeah, I was
I
starving.
literally, I was like, I'm
starving.
so sorry. It's 1 p.m. I haven't eaten anything all day. How about I order a meal and you can like pick at it, try it. You can have some chips, some fries. You can, have like some whatever you want to have like from my meal, and you can kind of work your way into it. And she was like, no, I'm okay. I'm not hungry. Her stomach's like growling like crazy, and she was eating like stale Pringles under the table. I felt so bad, but now you love it.
I do love it now. Now that I know what it
That's
is.
so funny.
But
yeah.
did you know that you wanted to like get it
Or-
on that day? Is that where you're like,
Wait,
oh, there's like the Nando's virginity song.
so
You're like, we're gonna go.
It's
We're
nothing
gonna
to
lose
do
our
with actual
virginity
virginity.
after Nando's. Was that your whole plan?
No, it's nothing to do with actual virginity. It's nothing sexual whatsoever.
Gosh, freaking dang it!
Example. Say you
Oh my
never.
God, wait, I'm sorry. I think I just broke the sofa.
Oh, it's okay. The sofa didn't break.
I fell down in the middle of it.
Here. Let me move the sofa
I feel
over
like
for
I'm
you.
getting you know where we are at, right?
I knew from the get-go. Everybody that's watching
He's
knows what's
bringing me to a
happening.
restaurant. I'm
Matt
losing my
is-
virginity in a restaurant, apparently.
Matt has a sick
The
mind.
virginity
Okay.
has nothing
Oh
to do
my
with the
gosh.
restaurant.
No.
Matt, listen,
Okay.
let me
Here's.
just like
Let me
heart to heart
explain.
right now. No, I know.
I know
what
people
you're
think I'm an idiot,
No,
so I
Matt,
just want to explain.
Look at me right now. Look at me right now. He's using it as an analogy. Like the first time you have Nando's, it's like losing your Nando's virginity. Has nothing actually to do with sex.
Nothing sexual.
Totally. Like I get that, but where I got confused was I thought he was like, oh, because there's a song about Nando's virginity. Like
No,
there's no song about
we're gonna go
Nando's
like.
No, there's a song about Nando's, not Nando's virginity.
See, I start to think that Matt is tracking, and then he starts saying the next.
Okay, there's a whole song
I
about
think
Nando's.
there's just a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a song about Nando's. That's
Okay.
not even like a real song.
I feel like every time I try and
relevant.
Now I'm
explain,
getting lost.
I dig deeper and I make it worse.
It just keeps going.
Basically, what I thought was like, you're like, we're gonna go to this restaurant and then we're gonna have sex. Is that what happened?
That's
No.
not at all what
Dang
happened.
it.
But
What Matt heard versus what was said, it's just not.
Okay.
It's like
So can you explain this
I-
as if you're like explaining it to a
No,
very
Matt, we're
mature
done talking
10-year-old?
about it.
I think we should.
I think we
So-
should move on.
Okay, let's go.
We went to a
Yeah.
restaurant.
so basically, so we went
Okay.
to Nando's.
Okay.
We-
After
I
Nando's.
ate.
After Nando's, we decided to end up. We booked
Well,
a trip
then.
to France.
No.
What?
Very important. I kissed you.
Oh, he did kiss me.
Oh,
that was
that's
a-
sweet.
Yeah, we
did
went to a
kiss?
park. We were like
You did.
sitting on this park bench, and we were watching the pigeons, and I watched like people watching people walking past and stuff like that. And then we like lay down on this bench, and I was like freaking out for like half an hour. I was like shaking so bad. I was like, dude, I really want to kiss this girl, but I don't know if she's into me. Not thinking like, wait, she's just flown 3,500
Yeah.
miles. But yeah, we had our first kiss on that bench on the 11th of October 2015. And then we ended up staying in London together for 4 days. And then finally, when our mutual friend Emmy finished her exams, she got a train down to London, and I got a couple of my friends to come down, and we all flew to the south of France for like a week or 10 days or something, which sounds really cool, but it's like $50 to fly anywhere in Europe. So it's like, you can do anything on a budget.
Jealous. That is so cool.
It's like you going to Nevada. You know,
That's
it's
so
not
sick.
a big deal.
It's not as far.
I love that. I love how you can just hop around to all these different countries and experience different cultures and food and
it's actually a
architecture.
crazy thing because, you know, one of my friends actually did a video recently where flights are so cheap in Europe now that for the price of a pizza in the UK at a nice restaurant, he went to the airport, got a flight to Rome, ate a pizza, and flew back for the same price. Wow. It was like $20.
That's stupid.
Yeah. It's insane, isn't it?
That's
I don't know how
insane.
the airlines do it.
Wait,
Why are they?
I have a theory. Maybe it wasn't the butterfly freaking you out as much. Maybe you were just nervous.
I think that's what it was.
That's how I was
think
on
there
our
was just
first
so
date.
much
We went to
going on.
Chick-fil-A, which is maybe the American equivalent to Nando's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Matt was
Yeah.
like trying to order me food, and I was like, I'm not hungry, and I was starving, and I couldn't even eat a chicken nugget. I was so
Yeah, I
nervous.
think, you know, I
Is
think
it
that's what it
also
was.
Maybe
is
you
it
had
also a thing of
butterflies.
like eating in front of your
There
crush
you
as well?
go.
Yes, I
Because
don't know.
Monica's still like, if I'm filming, she's like, no, I don't want to eat. I
On
don't want to be
camera, I
eating
feel
while
like
you're
it's
filming. Like
weird.
she's really kind of like insecure. Well, not insecure,
I don't
but
know,
like
it's like weird.
you don't like eating like in front of people or on camera or
No,
anything.
on
Is there anything to do with
camera.
that?
In front of people, it's fine, but like on
Well, it's not
camera.
like you covering your
Yeah,
mouth every
like,
time.
don't love it.
No, I don't really have that. I just eat all the time on camera, actually. I
too.
film what I eat in a day, and I just eat.
I probably had
you
like
can
one
down some
comment
food.
once that said something or something. And then maybe it's just like
Oh,
in my brain. I can't
no.
remember,
Oh, really?
but maybe that's what it is.
No,
Like,
I
I'm
get
like-
it, though.
I don't know,
I
like
get
a
it.
screenshot. I'm like, I don't know.
You're like, I don't want to
Something
see that
weird.
ever again.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay,
Yeah,
so you
going
went
back
to
the
south of
story,
France.
So we went to the
Yeah.
south of France with our friends for like, I think like 10 days. And then from south of France, we flew
Well, that's why you
to...
asked me to be your
That's
girlfriend.
why I asked her to be my girlfriend,
And
yeah.
I didn't even think that was going to happen. Like, I thought we were just going to be like kind of like a summer fling kind of thing. Even though at this point I literally have kissed 2 people in my entire life. I was like,
And it was so awkward
nervous
as well
all the
because
time and, like,
we were with all our friends in the Airbnb. And I asked Monica, I said, hey, do you want to go out to dinner with me tonight? And she turns around, she goes, hey, everyone, you want to go out to dinner?
So
I'm
I
like,
didn't know he was asking
no,
me on
no,
a
no, I'm
date.
asking you on a date.
Yeah, I didn't know you were asking.
So we
me
went
on a
to, I still remember the name of the restaurant, Le Jardin du Capitole. So we went there and then you got spaghetti.
date. Why are we getting into
Sorry. We're walking along the beach after and we were playing, was it like a would you rather kind of game?
We're like 20 questions, you know, like when you first start
Mm-hmm.
talking to somebody. So we're just trying to get to know each other. And then his question was like, oh, what would you say if I asked you to be my girlfriend?
I thought I
And then
was
I'm
so
like,
smooth.
yeah, you thought you ate up.
I thought
So,
I ate.
yeah, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And then we finished France. We flew to Amsterdam right after because I wanted to live out the Fault in Our Stars.
I was going to say, Amsterdam has a bit of a reputation amongst Brits. I don't know about Americans, but like Amsterdam, prostitution is legal and weed is legal and all that kind of stuff. So like people go there from the UK to party.
That's
my
not
gosh.
why we were
So like when I told my
going
parents that I was going to take Monica to Amsterdam, they're like, really? Is this girl like really? Is she a good influence on
Maybe
you?
that's like
I was like, no,
Vegas
she's
for us.
obsessed.
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it's like. And I was like, no, she's obsessed with this film called The Fault in Our
You know the,
Stars,
like,
and they
romance
filmed it at Anne
movie?
Frank's house,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they filmed
Yeah.
it. So we went there. We spent like 3 or 4 days there, and then she flew back to my
Was it
parents'
like-
house. I was living with my parents at the time. We were teenagers. My parents lived in Cheshire in the UK, so we went there for probably like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And of course, she made me drive her to the Harry Styles house and the Harry Styles bakery he worked
That's
at
how you
and all
won
that
my
kind
heart.
of stuff.
That's how you won the heart. You brought me to all my little spots. But yeah, so I met his family really quick. And then because we were so young, like I guess it's filtering into something else, but like we had to figure out like ways to be able to continue this relationship. Because like I thought like, how is this going to work? Like neither of us like really had like great jobs or anything. So it's like, how are we going to see each other? But here we are almost 9 years later. So
And
we
we-
figured it out.
Yeah, and we were both working location-based jobs as well, so we actually had to be in like an office or a place of work
Yeah.
to work. So, it was tough starting a long-distance relationship with that in mind. But yeah, no. So she flew back, I think at the start of November, didn't you, to New York, and then 23rd of November is her birthday. So I spoke with my parents for like a week non-stop about it. I was like, should I do this? Should I pursue this? And they were like, well, you're on your own if you want to. Like, it's your mistake to make, or it's your like blessing to have, kind of thing. And I went into my bank overdraft to book my flight to go and visit her in New York. Like it was all or nothing, really.
You're like, I'm
wasn't it?
taking donations to visit my girlfriend.
Literally.
But yeah, then ever since that, we just went back and forth for like 6 years, and then now we finally live together.
It got a lot easier. About a year later, we started our marketing company in April of 2016. we don't really do it anymore. Because we kind of lost passion for it, but we built up this social media management company where we managed the accounts of businesses online, and we built it to, we were a team of like 8 or 10 people at one point, and it was really fun and stuff like that. But we started that in 2016 as a way to be able to kind of figure out how to work online and see each other for longer periods of time, which was, I think that really saved our relationship, didn't it? Not that our relationship was dying, but like that, I don't think our relationship would have survived if we...
each other, like...
Yeah.
So.
How, like, what was the longest stretch of time where you guys didn't see each other in person?
Probably like 4 months.
Yeah, honestly, not even that long. Like for a long distance couple, like I feel like that's
as long of distance as it was.
Yeah, so probably 4 months.
Different continents.
As soon as we started working online, we could go like, I would go there for 3 months, then we'd spend like a month apart. Then he'd come for like 2 months, and then we just did that.
No way.
And we had like no expense. You know, we both lived with our parents. Like I drove my mum's car. Like it was, you know, like I had all I needed to make was enough money for flight and food. So it was really, we managed to kind of build up a company to that level within like 6 months or so, and then finally could kind of quit our jobs and just kind of travel to see each other. And
I love that you guys didn't let like the logistics get in the way.
It was hard.
You just made it happen. It was hard.
It was so hard.
What was the hardest part, would you say?
I think in the beginning we both were like still so young, so like I was a little psycho because he was making me psycho because he was like a player, and like here I am. He was my first boyfriend. I dated her.
Oh,
like I have not dated anyone before Sam.
It was like trust issues.
So I was like, he was. You were still like kind of flirty with girls because he was still like in that player phase. So like it was.
But like
getting
I wasn't
to, like,
doing it intentionally. I was just a dumb young kid, and I had no idea.
So like that was what was like
that
the hardest.
It was like crossing a line, and then as soon as she kind of said like, "Hey, like this is how I feel about it," and we kind of had like a deep chat about it. I was like, wait, I actually kind of saw it from her point of view. I was like, maybe I shouldn't like a girl's post on Instagram, or maybe I shouldn't.
It was just like we're at different phases. Like him being my first boyfriend, you were like kind of in your clubbing phase. So it was like hard in the beginning to be like, oh, he's out of the.
Was there like one instance where you're like, we need to have a heart to heart?
I don't know.
You know what? That was actually, it got really, really tough at one point, and it was nothing to do with like, neither of us did anything wrong or anything like that. I was visiting Monica in New York, and I think I was just feeling really, really homesick. Like, you know, all my friends, all my family, my entire life was in the United Kingdom. And we were just kind of, I don't even know why, but we were bickering over the smallest things 20 times a day.
Everything.
It was like literally
like 19 and 20 years old. We were just like, everything was like a fight.
Like she would move my slipper. I'd be like, why did you move my slipper? It was like the dumbest stuff. And it got to the point where I remember we were pulling into the road to go to your parents' house, and in your car, and it was just us two. And I remember thinking, like, we just got out of like an argument, and I remember thinking, if this doesn't improve by the time I get to the airport in 2 days' time,
we're gonna have to end
we'll have to break up with each other at the airport. And I guess those last 2 days, we just kind of gave our all to the relationship, and the universe was like, all right,
let's do something good here. And then I don't know what happened.
It's
we were arguing about
like
everything.
Yeah, it's like a switch clicks, and just.
I think that was before we saw each other's like point of views with everything. So it's like you were so focused on stuff, I was so focused on stuff, and we couldn't come together. And then we just did, and it was like, okay, it works now.
Thank you to Haya for sponsoring this portion of today's episode.
Our oldest is about to turn 2, which I, for one, think I'm going to sob the night before. It's crazy to me that we're going to have a 2-year-old, and when he turns 2, there's so many more things to think about. I think with a lot of ages comes new things you take on as a family, but especially 2, and he's ready for a lot of big boy things. We're going to think about potty training soon, and he's ready for big boy vitamins, and that's why I'm really excited to be using Haya. We've already decorated our Haya bottle. If you don't know what Haya is, it's a children's vitamin, but typical children's vitamins are basically candy in disguise. They're filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, and other gummy junk growing kids should just never eat. But that's why they created Haya. It's a pediatrician approved super powered chewable vitamin. It's formulated with the help of nutritional experts, and it's pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and vegetables, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals. And it basically just fills in most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide the full body nourishment our kids need with the yummy taste they love.
They have eco-friendly refills, and it's nice because your kid can decorate their own Haya bottle, and just know that every time they get a refill, they can put it into their homemade bottle that they have for themselves.
They give you stickers to decorate it, and then I think it just makes the routine of taking a vitamin every day really fun, because not only do they taste good, but like they know that they had a part in this. They decorated their bottle, and it just becomes a fun routine. We've worked out a special deal with Haya actually for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. That's huge. To claim the deal, you must go to hayahealth.com/unplanned. This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to HIYAHEALTH.com/unplanned and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults.
We got to the point where we were so desperate that we finally just had that like deep, like tell-all chat kind of thing, and we finally like figured each other's positions out on absolutely everything. And like every time we bickered about something dumb, like where are we going to eat, or what shoes am I wearing today,
like
or whatever it was.
It
was obviously
so
it was like we were bickering because there was a different like underlying issue, and that was the fact that like I was so homesick, and like I didn't have any friends, I didn't feel at home in New York, like all that kind of stuff.
So maybe that's why we don't fight anymore, because we got it all out in the beginning, because it was like every day.
We do have a rule now, and I think it's been amazing for our relationship. And our like number one rule is every time we do argue or bicker or anything, we always make sure to sit down and resolve it before the end of the night. Because we found from at the start of our relationship that was like 2016 that happened, and we found that like by not resolving stuff at the end of the night and kind of letting the tension build up, finally we kind of exploded, and there was a giant argument, and we've never really had that again, because we kind of stomp it while it's small.
Did you guys bring any baggage or anything from past relationships into relationship? Like, was that a cause of any bickering?
No.
I never had a relationship before.
Oh, so you just
relationship.
kissed a few dudes but never had like been on any dates?
Yeah,
gotcha.
never.
Was this like truth or dare? Was this like
the other kisses?
Yeah, like what were these other kisses?
You had a little college kiss, didn't you?
I had a college kiss. I did have a college kiss. It was on my birthday. That was actually my first kiss. I was 18 when I had my first kiss, which is that sad? I don't know.
No.
But I was 18.
It's not sad at all.
Yeah, a guy kissed me in college. I had a crush on him, but we never dated or anything. And then another guy, this was like months later, I'm out of college at this point, and I was not.
Is this Ed Sheeran in the car?
I hope he does not watch this.
Oh my word.
A guy, I don't even know how to say without laughing. There was someone from my school that wanted to hang out.
Okay.
Never, ever flirted with this man. I thought we were just hanging out. Like, he just wanted a friend. I'm like, cool, like, let's hang out. He knew I loved Ed Sheeran. He put Ed Sheeran on in the car. It was the song Kiss Me by Ed Sheeran. And he goes, I think Ed Sheeran wrote this song from me to you. And then he kissed me. And I like pulled away. I was like looking out his window in the car like, oh. Like, I did not want to like keep going.
Oh, no.
So that was my, does that count as like a second kiss?
Was that uncomfortable? Like you did not want to kiss him? That's so bad. If you're gonna use a pickup line like that, it's like, maybe this isn't the best idea.
It was like a hit or miss, but he missed.
It could have been incredible. It could have been dreadful. And sadly, it was dreadful.
And then a few months later, that's when you and I started talking online, and then that was.
An Ed Sheeran guy was gone.
Just 2 kisses, and that was it.
My experience before was like the exact opposite. Like the drinking age in the UK is 18, and so as soon as I turned 18, I started drinking, and I don't really drink anymore, but. I think I've kind of got that whole phase out of my life. So like I literally never drink now, but I went through like probably 3 or 4 years where I was like a proper little party animal, and I'd like want to go clubbing all the time and like drinking, playing drinking games and all that kind of stuff. And so my experience was really different.
Yeah, he was a player.
You were?
You could just let it out.
Really?
You could just let it out.
You were a player.
Why was he a player?
Just like you. I mean, you've had a lot of relationships, haven't you?
I've had a few different relationships before Monica and stuff.
Yeah, he was the flirty. I could tell from the flirtiness in the beginning. You were like that player dude. But he toned it down.
It won you over though, didn't it?
It did win me over. It did.
You were like, I got my romance, my British romance.
It all now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's why I was like really nervous in the beginning, because like I had no experience with like anything at all. And here's this guy.
I remember when we were first messaging. We were messaging on Twitter. And I was like, oh, we should book a trip together, like as like
guys,
joking.
I'm throwing you under the bus right now. You said a lot more than that. He literally was like,
I was coming on to say that.
It was not that sweet.
And I was like, I'm a big cuddler, and she was like,
I was like, oh
she
yeah,
was like,
me too.
I love cuddling.
We've never cuddling a guy in my life.
I was like, you gotta. I was like, you gotta. Yeah. Wait, I just thought about that.
I've never cuddled with another man before.
You're like, I'm a giant cuddler. I was like, I cuddle naked. She was like, oh my god, me too.
He goes, I hope you don't have a problem. I cuddle naked. And he put like the slanted, like, you know, the slant emoji.
Had you guys not met before?
No. At this point, it was like probably like a few days into talking.
Your mom
comes
in, she's like, absolutely get
Here
off
I am,
of the
like,
messaging.
scared of him. I've never seen a man naked before, and he's talking about like, oh, we're gonna cuddle naked. I'm like, oh, can't wait. Like, I was so
You're
scared.
like, I'm terrified.
Oh my gosh. But it was like, it was
so
working. Like the
cringy.
way that you like worded everything, I was like, it was like Christian Grey.
It wasn't your first
Christian Grey with
like-
$0 to his name.
Really like
With $0.
it was
Yeah.
like attractive reading it, but here I am like I was so scared. I was so terrified, but in the messages you can't tell. I was like, yeah, I can't wait.
Do you still have the messages?
Of course.
Yeah, we got them
Of course.
screenshotted.
Oh God, it's bad. Yeah, those
So
are
this,
bad.
that wasn't your first rodeo. You
Yeah,
kind of knew the
that's
worst.
what I mean.
You
That's
knew the
the
worst to say.
experience.
What was it about Monica though that made you realize, oh, this is the one? Like these past relationships.
I think it's the fact that she was really straightforward with stuff. Like, I don't know if it's a UK thing or it's probably like a worldwide thing, but like my experience growing up was girls would always play hard to get, and like it was just like a game. Like dating was a game. Like you would be like, flirting back and forth and then going cold and then flirting back and forth and blah 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 blah. And like it was like a breath of fresh air when Monica, like literally she was like texting this girl Emmy being like, I want to marry this man, I'm in love with this man. And I was like, wow, okay, so I know where I stand. And then I mean, look at her, she's the most incredible woman.
And now I'm gonna cry.
And no, she was like the most attractive girl I've ever seen. And then I was like, this girl literally is American. Like, this is so cool.
Sweet. I love that.
So yeah, that was that.
So how did you propose?
So, basically, I said that I asked her to be my girlfriend in the south of France, walking along a beach. So I surprised her with a trip back there for our 4th anniversary in 2019. And so we flew out, we got an Airbnb. She was deathly sick. It was so sad.
I was so sick.
She was like, her
I don't know what I had. I had something.
nose and eyes were streaming. She was coughing. I was sneezing and coughing and stuff.
It was bad.
We literally flew back like, I think the next day, didn't we?
Yeah.
We cut our trip short and flew back because we both felt so sick.
But it was our anniversary, so like I didn't think anything was going to happen. And at that point, it was 4 years into dating, and he was always like, it's going to be at least 7 years until I propose. Like he would tell like my mom that all the time. Like he was like, I just want to like wait, whatever. But I remember he brought me up to this like,
well, we rented a car.
area.
So we were staying in Nice, and then Monaco is probably like a 45-minute drive away. So for our anniversary, we wanted to spend the day in Monaco. And I wanted to see all the supercars, and she wanted to see like have the incredible food and the clothes and all that kind of stuff. And as you were driving, I went up on top of this like mountain area called La Tête de Chien, and it overlooks Monaco. And then I had this video that was like a minute and a half long of all the like travel clips and relationship clips and stuff like that I'd taken like B-roll over the last 4 years of being together. And I edited it down to this little minute and a half video, and I did a voiceover basically saying how much I love her and how much I want to spend the rest of my life
really
with her
cute.
And stuff like that. So brought my computer up to the top of this mountain, and I set up the cameras, and I said, but we were going to do a photo shoot for our 4th
like our
anniversary.
anniversary. We're like, oh, let's just get some cute pictures. So I was like, oh, and honestly, on the way up to like this cliff area, like I saw his hands in the car like this, like fidgeting, and I'm like, why is he so fidgety?
I was so nervous.
And then like I also in our backpack I saw a box, but like at this point I was like, he always says 7 years, like there's no way he's gonna be like proposing today. So like I even saw the ring box, and in my head I'm like, for like a split second I was like, oh, is he proposing? But then I was like, no, he's not. But yeah, so we're taking the pictures, and then we're like, just thinking it's for our anniversary, cute pictures. As soon as you brought out the computer, that's when I knew that something was like
really?
going on. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know I was?
No.
Sorry, I just yelled into the microphone.
You're good.
So
It wasn't the ring box that like
no,
set you off.
because he was so adamant. He was always like 7 years, like at least 7 years before I proposed. Like I was so sure because you said it so many times. So you really threw me off there. But yeah, that was the video.
So yeah,
the
so
video
I played
was,
this video, and I ended the video.
I just like, to
wrong
me,
with
I'm
it?
like, if I saw a ring box, I'd be like, I'm
Well, she
getting
thought it was like a
freaking
bracelet,
proposed.
I
didn't
thought
he?
like earrings.
Does he just carry rings around all the time?
I
Like,
thought no, it was like
Casual.
a box in a box. So like
Okay.
I was like, oh, maybe it's earrings or like a bracelet.
Oh,
or
So you didn't
something.
It's
actually see the
anniversary.
proposal
No, I didn't see
ring
the-
box.
I didn't
Oh,
see
you
the
just saw like the
proposal box.
jeweler's box.
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
the jeweler's
Got
box. I'm
you.
like,
You
oh,
do?
he got me like
Because
a
I always
necklace.
wondered
So,
that
like-
as well. I was like, how did you not?
No, I didn't see like the actual ring box. I saw like a jewelry box. I was like, oh, maybe he got me earrings. Or something.
you do seem like a jewelry guy though. Like I've noticed. I think, is that a Rolex on your hand? What?
Yeah.
That's pretty
I've
fancy.
got a wasp. I've got a watch
Oh, not this
obsession.
again.
I love my watches. But
That's dope.
I only buy watches that appreciate in value though, so I can like treat them as savings accounts. kind of
Really?
things. Yeah.
And the band. What is that?
This my sister actually just got me for my birthday a month ago. She got it in Portugal when she was just doing like a whole trip all around Europe, and she got it for me, and I've worn it every day since. But I mean, it's only been just over a month, but I love it. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, that looks dope.
And then these are like runes, I think, on it. So these are like protection runes, and I think it was handmade by a lady in Portugal, which is, I think, is really, really cool.
What is a rune? I don't know what that is.
I have no idea either. She said it's a rune.
Okay.
He was hoping you would know. He just
I was
threw that
hoping
in
you
there.
would know, so I didn't
Yeah,
have to
we have no
explain
idea.
something I didn't
Is that like
know.
an ancient symbol of some sort?
I guess so, something
okay.
like that. Yeah.
Sick.
And then that's just my wedding ring.
Nice.
Well, not just my wedding ring, of course. My wedding ring.
the whole thing.
I actually had a disaster with my wedding ring because when we first got married, I thought it'd be really cool to get a carbon fiber wedding ring. So I bought this carbon fiber wedding ring, which was like super light. It was like really cool. And I woke up, I wore it for like 6 months, and I woke up one morning and my finger was like blown up like that.
Oh, frick.
And carbon is fibers, isn't it? And I got a carbon splinter. So it like splintered into my finger, and I had like an allergic reaction or whatever, and it like blew up to like a little balloon. So I got rid of that. And then I've just been, for the last like 2 years, I've just been wearing a rubber, like one of those, it's actually a woman's band off Amazon because I like thin rings. So it was like a 3mm, like $10 band off Amazon that I've been wearing. And then she got me this for our anniversary.
How did you get the carbon fiber ring off of your finger?
With difficulty.
Did you have to get like pliers and cut
No,
it off?
I had to wait for it to like go. I like squeezed it out.
Oh,
and it was
frick.
It was horrible.
Did you have
It
to
was
like
disgusting.
lube your finger up to like get it off your finger?
I think
like
I put like soap on it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
like
I like
soap.
washed my hands and like put soap on it, and then I was like, I had to like squeeze down like the bubble, and like
that's
it was
horrible.
gross.
Abby's gotten rings stuck on her fingers before, especially when she was pregnant. Her fingers got all puffy. And
They
we
didn't do that with Augie.
And then we did soap to get the ring off, and you'd
Yeah.
you'd panic. You
Yeah.
have like
Oh,
a
okay,
panic
absolutely.
moment.
Cut it
Absolutely.
off, like,
And we're gonna have to lose the finger.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it?
Well, that's why I wear a rubber one, because I don't want to have to get my finger chopped
it's
off.
just 'cause you're
like think
cheap.
about if that's not true.
I mean, to be honest, I wore a rubber one
He
up until
only
like
just got
3
this,
months
yeah.
ago, and honestly, I'm like really active. Like I kind of I'm always like doing stuff in my hands. So like I only really wear this probably like 3 or 4 hours a day, and the rest of the time I put the rubber one back on because like I don't want to scratch this or like, damage it or whatever. So honestly, I'm in the same boat as you, dude.
And you guys had 2 weddings, right?
we did.
Kind of. Well, I mean, yes.
Technically
but
speaking.
it sounds really cool. It wasn't anything.
Yeah.
Like, so you know the show 90 Day Fiancé?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they land in America and they've got 90 days to get married. Aside from all the drama, like that's actually a legit thing. So I came into the US on a K1 visa. It took me like 2.5 years to get this visa granted. So I applied in 2019 straight after we got engaged, and it was granted like December of 2021. Flew over to the US January of 22, January 27th, 22. I told you I'm a blabbermouth. And
Just gonna keep going.
and then I legally had 90 days to get married. So we
It's
had.
so random.
It is.
It's so random. So we had like such a strict schedule, but it was January when you came over. So we were like, what's like a fun date within the 90 days? And we loved 22222.
Yeah,
So
so
that's the
22nd
day we
of
got
February,
married.
22222. So we got married at 2:22 p.m. Not
That
even we
wasn't-
didn't
that
even
was
plan it.
coincidental. Yeah, that was actually.
Yeah, we didn't even plan it. It was just whenever the weather cleared up because it was February in New York. It was horrible weather.
Was it a requirement to wear a tutu to the wedding?
That
would've
was
been
good.
amazing.
That was a good dad joke.
So stupid.
That actually would have been amazing.
I'm not gonna
We should have
laugh
done
at
that.
Come on.
You want to?
Come on.
A little.
I was like, I'm too used to this.
But yeah, the first wedding was literally, so his dad flew over, his grandparents were on FaceTime, your sisters were on FaceTime, and then it was just like my siblings and my parents. It was cold and wet, and it was freezing, but it was like perfect. And like there's these people were like walking, because it was in like a public area, and there was like a group of golden retrievers, and
It was
they
like
all
a golden
stopped.
retriever walking group. So it was like
Yeah, there
20
was
golden
so
retrievers
many
all
golden
walking
retrievers,
together.
and they stopped and watched. So like right after like we got married, we like ran down and we're like getting kissed by all these golden retrievers. It was like, it was the perfect day, like at least for
That's
me.
so
Like
It was
that
awesome.
was
And it cost
perfection.
zero. It cost a dinner at a hibachi place. We
Yeah,
took everyone out
that
to
was
hibachi after
literally
to
it.
celebrate, and that was it.
But then we had the real like grand wedding in July, because I always wanted like the
Yeah,
big dress.
so that was July
and all
1st,
that.
22. We had like the proper wedding, and that was when all my friends and family flew over from UK, and it was like the proper celebration. But we were already married, so we just did kind of like a vow renewal kind of thing,
Yeah.
and then just had a big party essentially. which
So
was
what do you celebrate as your anniversary?
I think we do the February.
February,
Yeah.
really, because that's when we legally got
Wait a
married.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's only been like a year.
It's been
just over
just over 2 years,
now.
yeah, like 2 years and
Yeah.
3 months now.
We're in the year
Wait,
2024.
what?
Stephen.
I know, how mad is that? No, genuinely, I was signing some sort of document. I forgot what it was the other day, and I put 2023 and I corrected it to 24.
So
I'm like,
Do you know
where
what month it is?
May?
It happened too quick.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I never know what year it is.
Not okay.
Anyway,
Happy
but-
2-year anniversary.
Yeah, happy
so
2-year
much.
anniversary, you guys. That's awesome.
But
That's
anyway,
awesome.
Going back to the proposal quickly, I just want to touch on this because this was the best part of the day. It was,
What?
I had never pulled a prank on Monica in my entire life. Like, we're not really prankers. We try and do
We
like.
got a little bit into the prankies like on TikTok, but like this was before we even had a TikTok.
I had never pranked her in my entire life, but I proposed to her, and she watched this video. And basically, at the end of the video, I jokingly proposed to her like 3 years before with a fake ring and on
Well,
the
I
wrong
knew
finger
about
and
it.
stuff.
Like,
She knew it. It was like a complete
We were doing
joke.
like a stupid video one day where he put a ring on my finger. Like,
It was like a travel video.
Yeah,
We were
it
trying to
was
be
a
travel
stupid
vloggers at the time.
Oh, gotcha.
And so like we were in the Canary Islands and which are like little Spanish islands, and I was like, oh, it would look really cool if I put this $2 ring on your finger. And his finger turned green within 10 minutes. And but yeah, so at the end I was like, a few years ago I jokingly asked you if you'd marry me. Would your answer still be the same again after all these years and experiences and whatever? And then so she closed the laptop. The laptop almost fell off a cliff, which was funny. Yeah. And then I was down on one knee when she turned around, and I could not get her to say yes. Like, she wanted to, but every single time I asked her, and we filmed it, I've got the whole thing on our YouTube channel, every single time I had to ask her like 15 times, like, is it a yes? And she was like, no, you're pranking me, this is a prank. Like, hyperventilating, going crazy.
I just, in my head, I could not believe that was happening to me, because we dream about that forever. So like, I just was convincing myself that it wasn't real. So I was just like, this isn't real, you're pranking me, this is not happening. And I just couldn't stop saying that. So I probably said it 100 times, but I did say yes. So that's
You
good.
did say yes eventually.
You got to it.
Yes, we did. We got to it. So.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And then we had to FaceTime. Her parents were the only people in the world that knew. So I obviously asked for a father's blessing, and then I picked up the ring with her mother. And so they were the only people. Actually, your mum told a waitress at a restaurant.
She did. My mom had to tell somebody. So she was like at a restaurant. She's like, I need to tell you, my daughter is getting engaged today.
So the only people that knew were her parents and a waitress.
She knows.
Yeah.
That's sweet. I kind of love that it was just the two of you, because that's how we did it too. We were in Disney World, so there's other people. They were all strangers.
Wait, when you guys recreated it.
Yeah, they were all strangers. So like it was like we were just by ourselves, and it's kind of sweet. Like you have the wedding day to be with other people, and so it's kind of nice. I mean, I understand people want their family and friends around, but I don't know. I thought that was sweet.
I liked the privacy. Like, this was just like our moment.
Yeah, it was super nice.
And it's kind of less pressure,
right?
Isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
You know, like if everybody's family stood around waiting for the answer kind of thing.
Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this portion of today's episode.
I totally know how you feel if you're sitting there. Like, I can think of like a few things I'm pretty sure I didn't cancel, but I don't really know how to go about doing that. It's easy to just push it off on your to-do list, but then you're getting charged for it every month and you're not using it. And it just sucks to waste money like that. But Rocket Money makes it so much easier for you. I promise. It puts all your subscriptions in one place, and then if you literally just push cancel, they'll go through it for you. I do not know how they do it, but trust me, it works, and it saves you so much money, and you don't have to feel bad about having unwanted subscriptions that you don't know how to monitor. Over 74% of people have subscriptions they've forgotten about.
That is insane.
That statistic is crazy, but I totally believe it in this day and age.
And if you guys didn't know this, you can also negotiate your phone bill. You can negotiate your security bill. We didn't realize we could have been paying less for a very long time on our home security bill, and Rocket Money took care of that for us.
Rocket Money has so many features. It's a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions. Like we said, it monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features.
Rocket Money is a very easy to use app for someone that doesn't really know a lot about personal finance. For me, like that can be a really overwhelming category, but they just like streamline everything, make it simple and easy to use, and really easy to just control how you're managing your money.
Yeah. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/unplanned. That's rocketmoney.com/unplanned. rocketmoney.com/unplanned.
So I understand there was like a weird controversy around you taking his last name.
Oh my gosh, I have no idea
Can
what
you
that was.
explain what happened?
Here I am thinking everything's great, like everything was amazing, and then all of a sudden I keep getting all these messages, like, and I don't know if you experienced the same thing, but like I was getting tons of messages like, I cannot believe that you're like subjecting to this and taking his last name, like he should take yours, this is ridiculous. I was like,
no, I never got that.
I'm like, what is... Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has ever got that either. It was just us.
I think just one person commented it, and then everyone latched on. They were like, wait, that's a good point. Why is she taking his last name?
And we got a ton.
Like, you're the first woman in the world who's taken her husband's last name.
I'm like, I also really love his last name. And like his grandma is like my best friend. So I'm like, oh, I got to share like the last name with Nanny. Like I was so excited. I love being a Patterson. Like I'm always going to be like Monica Gartner. Like that's my maiden name. Like, just because I took his last name doesn't mean anything, but yeah, people were really mad.
You don't know where it came from.
I have no idea.
I think, like I said, I think it was just one comment from someone that was whatever, and then I think it just spread like wildfire, and then suddenly we were getting like death threats and everything.
There was like a ton of like news articles about it. I'm like, why is this a thing? Is this
news articles written about you
Daily
changing your
Mail.
last name?
I think it was like
article.
Daily Mail wrote like a whole thing like wife like gets backlash from taking last name. I'm like, isn't that like a thing that people do? Like I wanted to take his last name.
Yeah, well, we didn't start
so
social media
weird.
until after we were married, so I didn't have that.
That makes sense.
It was so weird. I don't understand it. I don't know.
That is very odd.
I think people just try to find something.
I mean,
to
that
hate
is the
on. I don't
culture
know.
in the U.S.
Yeah.
So I understand that. Is that not the culture in the UK?
It is.
Everybody in the UK does that. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know
as far
where
as I
it came
know.
from.
Interesting.
That
I'm
was
sorry.
Weird.
Legit.
I'm really
legit.
thankful
We were
that's
laughing
the-
about it. We were just like, if that really makes you guys that mad, like you have more problems that you need to deal with. Like I'm fine. I love my new last name. Like I don't know.
That's so interesting.
I mean, honestly, I
gosh.
feel like everybody online, I mean, with this job comes hate comments, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you guys have been subjected to a lot of that, and I'm really sorry that you guys have, because you're the sweetest people ever.
You're so nice.
Oh,
But-
thank you.
Just
Thank you.
I think I'm really glad that, you know, the one time it's really like blown up for us was over something so trivial, so
yes,
silly.
So
Yeah.
stupid.
And I'm sure 95% of people read the article and were like, why is this a story?
Yeah, you can brush that off pretty
yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Were you guys able to brush that off, or did it get to
Yeah.
you?
That one
No.
we were able to really brush off.
No.
There's some comments we get that like it's hard to deal with.
The main stuff, a lot of people think I'm gay.
Oh, really? Dude, I've gotten
Why?
those
Is that
too.
every
So
husband?
Now
got
we're gonna
stuff
see
about
you
being
guys
gay.
complimenting each
I
other.
know.
Oh,
They're
no,
like,
you guys are
Matt
gonna
is
sit
definitely
together.
gay.
Maybe I should stop playing into it by like complimenting you all the time, Matt.
Well, you're just so attractive. I can't help myself.
Oh my! Here we go. The comments are coming in.
No,
Like, go on,
seriously,
you go sit.
dude. So I think what it is I think like, at least for me, when I started a relationship with Abby, I just like it brought out my soft side, and then becoming a dad brought out even more of a soft side.
It doesn't make you any less of a man, though.
Yeah, but
Not
when,
at
And it
all.
when
doesn't
people
change your sexuality just because you're in touch with your emotional side.
Yeah,
and
'cause
you
you're
can
Exactly.
be your authentic self.
Yeah.
But I think what it is like, not only did that bring out a soft side in me, but then just with the content that we have online, it revolves around our relationship, and it revolves around like me being a father. So when people are only seeing that side of me, the soft side of Matt, then they're like, oh, that dude's gay.
Is that more of an American thing though, where it's like men have to be like?
No, that's a big thing in the UK. as well.
Really?
I feel like it might be even more in the UK.
Really?
I don't know.
You think like toxic masculinity is more of a thing in the UK than in the US?
Probably. I don't know.
Oh.
I've never thought about it, but yeah, I think maybe it is.
Like we just had a really, really bad experience in England, like to the point where I'm like,
Oh my
I
goodness.
was so
It was
shocked that it even
mental.
happened. It made me so, like, I have never yelled at anybody in my entire life. Like I'm quiet. I'm like introverted. I fully yelled at somebody on like the train because we got on a train.
Well,
Firstly,
you gotta say the whole story.
yeah, we're going down the steps. There's like a cute little old lady like by herself.
There's
and
all these big
she had her
dudes walking
suitcase
around.
and she's like struggling to pick it up. And like obviously Sam sees, so he picked up her suitcase. And I'm like thinking in my head, like, how did not a single like man
This lady was probably
hold her suitcase?
early 80s going down a flight of
Yeah.
like 30 stairs. And I watched, like, we were right at the top of the stairs and she was like halfway down. And I watched like 6 or 7 big
I
guys
could
just
not
walk
believe
past
it.
her and completely ignore her. So I had to run down the
But
stairs.
we got
obviously.
on the train and she's like near the door, and this like guy in his 70s, I would say, comes on 2 beers, like 1 beer in each hand.
This was 2 p.m.
And like immediately it's like in her face. So I was like, oh,
2
like,
o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah,
2
2
in the
o'clock in the
afternoon. Yeah,
afternoon.
that was a football match on
Yeah.
a soccer match.
And he's like talking to her, and I'm like, what a creepy husband. Like he's like so close to her
Yeah,
face.
she was like,
and,
"Oh, don't spill those
don't
on
spill
me,"
the
and
beers
stuff.
on me. And then like I noticed he's literally trying to kiss her on the lips, and
So
her
you're like,
face
yeah.
is like going like this. And there's a ton of men around her, and I'm like, this is weird. So as soon as like I saw her face, Sam was like, I'm sorry, is that your husband? And she was like, no. And she like comes cowering behind me, this like little old lady.
That's
I'm
so-
like, so Sam's
So I
like
started yelling at this guy.
I know.
I kind of feel bad because like he was an elderly guy, but like
But no,
No,
should not
you
be-
just-
there's no age on
no
being a
other
creep.
man spoke up for this lady. I could not believe it.
So
but
I was full on like I've
he
never
was
like full on
yelling.
cursed someone out like that before, but I was going
It was
crazy
bad.
at this guy
And
because
then-
like he was literally trying to sexually assault this
Yeah.
old lady.
And no one around did anything. I was like, like at least where we live in Florida, people immediately would be on that and be like, get away from this lady. Like he'd probably be beat up, as he probably should have been, because it was disgusting, like what he was trying to do. And then his son comes over and tries starting beef like with
Yeah,
Sam, and he's
his son came over and like tried like squaring up to me. So I had to like shoulder barge him out of the way, and he was like, do you have a problem with my dad? I was like, yeah, actually, your dad is a massive creep trying to kiss an elderly lady that he doesn't know.
And he goes, he
like,
wasn't trying to do it in a creepy way.
Yeah.
So that's
So then
when I
Monica
started
spoke
popping
up.
off. I'm like, how can you kiss a stranger in a non-creepy way? Like he owes her an apology. Like
This lady was
like,
literally like cowering behind Monica. Monica was like rubbing her back. It was so sad.
Horrible. And then he was like, yo, me and you are cool, but like F her. And like everyone on the train, no one said anything. No one offered their seat to this old lady. Like I was like, at least here, I think it's better here. Like people like take better care. I don't know.
It was so sad. What if she was a widow?
Crazy.
I know. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think we got unlucky because it was a Crewe versus Wrexham FC football match, and they're like heavy rivals, and like everyone was a bit rowdy and riled up, whatever. And but still, like as soon as we were on the train, we literally cut our trip short while on the train.
Like, we gotta get back to
rebooked our flights while we're on the train. I was like, I just gotta get home. Like I miss my dog. I miss the sunshine. I miss my
That's horrible, you guys.
Thank goodness you guys were there.
It was horrible.
Yeah, thank goodness. I feel like with situations like that, I don't know, from my experience, even in the US, if you go to, say, Nashville, people are so kind. There's the Southern hospitality.
Yeah. People are
just
nice.
like so good. Even one time we got stranded in North Carolina and Charlotte, and then just everyone in Charlotte was so nice. But then, you go to places like, I don't know, maybe you're on the subway in New York and you might see some sketchy stuff. And I feel like that might have been, I don't know. That's just my guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the crowd you're with too because of that football match. That was just a drunk grandpa trying to kiss an old lady. That's so sad.
Yeah.
That's so
How do we get
sad.
onto that conversation?
I know something about toxic masculinity. If it's
words
here or there.
We're talking about how people think they're gay.
I think it's more prevalent in the UK.
Yeah. So does that get to you though? People thinking that you're gay?
It did at first, but now I'm just like, I'm happily married to my wife.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm not gay. Like why are people trying to insult me about that?
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you. You said you did choir, so I did theater. So people would call me gay for doing theater.
Me too.
And then that used to get to me when I was a kid because I was like, because I didn't really fit in a box, right? Like I loved to skateboard. I played basketball, but then I also did like tap dance and ballet, and I sang. So it was like I was
exactly the same. Like I was a choir boy, but then I did mountain boarding and I played football and all that kind of stuff as well. So like.
Yeah.
So you guys have done some like pranks, teasing each other online. Has there ever been an instance where it's like crossed the line for you guys in your relationship? Where you're like, okay, this is too far, it's too much.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I want to know the backstory.
We never get like bad with our pranks. Like I see some couples that are like, they're doing stuff really like potentially relationship ending stuff. Pranking
I want to know the backstory behind the OnlyFans prank.
She got me so good with that.
You know what's actually funny timing? Because they've reached out to us 3 times to join the platform.
Yeah, no way.
So that's why I believed it so much, because we literally got an email the day. I guess that's how you came up with the video idea. But they emailed us the day before and they're like, we want you guys to join the platform. Like you've had a bunch of requests or whatever.
So weird.
And so then the next day, and Monica was like, after they reached out, Monica was like, hey, Karina Kopp's earning like $1 million a month.
Not that I would ever do it. I never once for a second even thought about doing it. That makes
not that we've got anything against people that do it. Like, make that money. I don't.
But like, you see how much like some people are making on it, and you're like, but no, we would never actually do it. But yeah, so we got like I think it was our 3rd email from them that we got, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just pretend that I'm joining it, because we get a lot of like creepy people in our. I'm sure you do too. Like
Wait, really?
A lot of creepers in the DMs, like foot pics. Can you send this? Like used socks, like really weird stuff. So yeah, I just decided to see what he would do, and you fully
believed it.
You weren't happy.
You thought she was
okay, guys. If Matt came in the room and I was like, I'm doing OnlyFans, there's 0% chance that you would believe me.
Yeah, I would not believe you for a second.
I think it was just the timing was good from the emails. So like them reaching out and then me being like, oh my gosh, these people are making so much money. And then I think maybe you for a split second were like, oh, maybe she is thinking about it, which I never ever was.
And then I don't know if you did this as part of the plan to try and make me believe it more, but in the morning before it, because I think I went out, didn't I? And I came back and you'd like set everything up. But I think in the morning you were on the phone to your sister talking about OnlyFans and stuff as well. So, and I don't know if you did that to like set that up.
I don't know.
But
I think I was probably just telling her about the email or something.
Oh, okay.
That's funny. He's
so
like,
it's just good timing.
Good evidence.
It's very convenient timing.
Well, I mean, they actually reached out to us once too.
Really?
But I thought it was just because they were trying to be more like Patreon, where it's just...
It was when they were trying to be more... Remember the time that OnlyFans was like trying to not be like a saucy platform?
Yeah, for like a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were like, we're banning everything for like a week.
Yeah,
because I don't think it started as a saucy platform. I think it started as more of a Patreon.
But the format was set up to make that like a perfect environment.
Exactly. And so I think Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are people on OnlyFans that just who knows? Maybe they just post regular videos and there's nothing crazy. But I feel like 99% is probably.
I was going to say, I think because
reason.
of the stigma attached to that platform now, I think if people want to do like a subscription thing, they would like
do
Patreon or Twitch
instead.
or like she's obsessed with Paul Wesley's private Instagram stories, like stuff like that. You know Paul Wesley from the Vampire Diaries? He played Stefan Salvatore in the Vampire Diaries.
See, the thing about I'm not really a fangirl type of person.
I'm like next level. It's bad.
I like that though.
He does.
You know what you like.
You know what's true, and his grandma is a fangirl.
Oh
so
my
like
gosh,
she loves like Billy Joel.
She's literally
Elvis,
Monica,
like,
but 60 years older.
Yeah, like
Wait,
we're
that's
literally
so
twins.
sweet.
Like we watched the
That's
Elvis movie together.
I
and
love
like,
that movie.
When like
It was
Austin
amazing.
Butler's like the young Elvis, like I was like all excited, and then as he got older in the movie, then his grandma was like, "Oh, here we go!" Like I'm excited
my grandma was
now.
like, "Oh, he's
so it was like
cute
so
now."
funny that we're both fangirls of like the different
I love
generation.
that relationship with his grandma.
She's
That's
the best.
sweet.
I love her so much. I swear, like I think she was like my daughter in a past life. Like it's weird. Like I don't even know how to like describe it. Like I know, like I knew his grandma. I don't know. It's like so weird to say out loud. Like I sound
That's
crazy,
precious.
but like she's the best. Yeah.
Do you guys believe in stuff like that? Kind of like
like soulmates?
No, like
past
lives,
like-
or like what's
I
your
haven't thought
thoughts
too
on
much about it.
reincarnation,
Lives.
or like what happens?
That's the only time I have
after?
thought about it.
Is that getting
was
a bit
that?
too philosophical for this?
I mean, I don't know.
Matt's extremely literal,
I'm
so
pretty
like
literal.
don't even
Yeah.
start this conversation
Oh,
with
no.
him because it's just gonna fall flat.
No,
Trust
I'm
me.
the same. I'm a big realist.
Yeah.
I truly want to believe that there is something. Like I really don't want to think that there's nothing. And you know, I grew up Church of England Christian. Like that was I haven't drifted away from it, but I think you know everyone's Catholicism. So Catholicism is like very slightly different to Church of England Christian, isn't it? So I kind of like drifted away from the church while I've been living in America.
Yeah.
But I really don't know. I would love to believe in reincarnation, or I'd love to believe in whatever. I just think it's such a cool thought.
I think it is. I think like death is like a really scary thing, and then
It
I think
is.
like
That's my biggest fear.
dealing with loss is
Oh my
so
gosh.
hard, especially depending on the relationship. So I
Yeah.
think like having some sort of hope in those horrible times in life,
Yeah.
because everyone goes through horrible things.
Yeah.
Like there's no escaping that. Everyone's gonna die, as sad as that is, and so
Matt
I think.
does this to me every day
terrifying
of my
as it
life.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
He presents me with the thought of death.
I fully believe that there's like a heaven. Like I have had like dreams about it, and I'm like, I don't know if that's my mind making it up, or like when my grandma passed away, the night that she passed away, she was in my dream, and like she was describing heaven to me. So like I don't know if my mind was
Wow.
like
Do we-
making it up, or if it was like that really was. I felt like it was really like her. And the same thing happened with Sam's mom.
Yeah,
like,
do we
I
have
had a
like 10
dream
minutes to
about
get
that.
into that?
Okay,
Like,
yeah. Wait, hold up. What about your mom? Like, what
So
happened?
my mum passed away very suddenly from cancer in December of 21, and
Right
it
as this was all.
was crazy. She went into hospital thinking she had gallstones on the 1st of December. We were told it was cancer on the 6th. The 8th, I think we were told it was terminal. She had a few months, and she died on the 13th, which was insane. And it's
That's
like
so
and it's one
traumatic.
of those things that it's like until it happens to you, you don't even think about it. You know, like you hear of people passing away from cancer young, or passing away from heart disease, or whatever it is young, and you always think like, I'm going to be that person that it never happens to until it does happen to you. And it's terrifying. And obviously it was the worst experience
That breaks
of
my
our
heart.
entire lives. But that has led me on to, until that happened, I kind of started thinking there was nothing after life. And the amount of signs we've got after my mum has passed away is insane.
Thank you to Lumi for sponsoring this portion of today's episode. We all have embarrassing BO moments. We went to a wedding recently and it was so muggy. Like it wasn't necessarily hot, but like I was just pouring sweat because of the dress and the humidity, and I was so embarrassed to be at this like nice event. I had sweat stains and I knew there was an odor. Shame on me for not packing my Lumi with me, because they actually have a whole body deodorant, because it wasn't just the pits. It was everything.
It's literally sweat's coming off of everything. And why has it taken us this long to think of, hey, wait a second, people, let's make a whole body deodorant?
Yeah, we don't just sweat from our pits.
Exactly.
That's actually why Lumi created this game-changing whole body deodorant, and it has earned over 300,000 5-star reviews from people just like me and you who have loved feeling confident from head to toe. What's crazy is that like we don't really talk about odor down there a lot because it's kind of taboo.
Yeah.
But like we all know it happens. And that's really why they created Lumi. It's actually powered by mandelic acid to deliver outrageous 72-hour odor control everywhere from your pits to your feet. And yes, even your private parts.
Wow.
In fact, it was patients' concerns about private part odor that started and inspired the OBGYN who created Lumi.
That's amazing.
To create their product.
And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code.
And if you combine the 15% with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. And their starter pack is their solid stick deodorant, their cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash to the deodorant wipes, and you get free shipping.
Use code UNPLANNED for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code UNPLANNED at LumiDeodorant.com.
I was today years old when I found out that's how you spell deodorant. I'm
What?
so glad you spelled that.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Why does it look weird? Deodorant. I'm dumb.
So the night she died, my bedroom at my parents' house was like a converted living room kind of thing. So it was like really long and thin. And there was a fireplace in the middle, my bed right at the far end. And it wasn't like a typical bedroom. So we had like double French doors with like sheer curtains over them. Yeah. So like you could kind of like, it was like translucent, so you could kind of see through.
Sounds like a really nice bedroom.
It was an awesome bedroom to have. I think my sister was pretty jealous. I managed to steal it as soon as my sister went to university. That was my parents, my baby sister, and myself in the house. And I was like, you know what? I'm giving up my bedroom upstairs. I'm going to take this spare, this kind of study thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyway, blabbering aside, the night my mum passed away. So my mum passed away at like 8 a.m, and that night, you tell it a lot better actually. Do you want to say, because you were the one that thought you had the dream about it?
I had a dream. Like my biggest thing was like I never got to give his mom like grandkids. So like that's gonna like haunt me forever. And that night, like, I guess because I was thinking about that so much, like in my dream, which again, it's like the same kind of thing happened with my grandma. I was with his mom. I was in a hospital bed and she was right next to me and she was like, I'm always going to be here with you. So like, I feel like that really was his like mom, like coming to me in a dream. I know that sounds like psychotic. Sweet. Oh my gosh, you're crying. You're going to make me cry. Oh my gosh. So, and also, this is probably going to make you laugh. John Krasinski was also there. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Just a small set.
This is legit.
He happened to be in the hospital room as well. I don't know why he was there, but yeah.
John Krasinski and Sam's mom in the same room.
It wasn't even John. It was literally him as Jim from The Office. Like I don't.
Oh, so it wasn't even John. It was Jim.
Jim. That will help you. But yeah, so he was also there.
Okay, maybe hide that detail when you share the story.
What's happening? I can't. So yeah, he was also there.
Okay.
But yeah, so his mom was there, and then I wake up and I'm in like Sam's bedroom, and I look over. This sounds so scary. You're probably gonna get chills for this. I look over at Sam, and he was sat up in the bed. This is at like what, 4 a.m. or something. And I can see him looking at like his bedroom door, and I'm like, this is like such a weird dream that I'm having. And I said like, what are you looking at? And he's like, my mom is at the door. So like I looked at the door, and like it gives me like chills even thinking about it. I could literally see his mom like behind the curtain, the outline of his mom. She was wearing a white robe. Her hair was down. She always had her hair up, but her hair was down.
And you remember this too.
And
yeah, we'll wait.
So that was like my dream was that. And then I don't remember how I fell asleep. Like that was it. Like I just remember saying like, oh my gosh, there she is. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, Sam, I got to tell you what happened. So I told him at the hospital thing. And then I said, I looked at you. Like then I'm in the bed. I looked at you. You're sitting up. And he's like, was I looking at my mom? And I was like, yeah.
And then I was like, was she wearing her white robe with
he literally, I was like,
down?
That was real.
Because I thought I was dreaming as well.
I thought it was like that part of the dream.
In real life.
But he like, in the morning, it was like, I dreamed that like I saw my mom like at the door in her robe. Wow. And I was like, was her hair down? Like we described the exact same thing. So I'm like, that really made me like know that there was something. But then after.
The second time was even crazier. We were in, so this was, I had my visa interview, my K1 visa interview on the 15th of December. So 2 days after my mum passed away. And there was a question about my parents in the interview. So that I like broke down. I was like, I'm so sorry. My mum just passed away. So I forgot to change my application to deceased. So like I was obviously thinking about her nonstop. Got out of the interview and I passed, which was awesome. So we went straight to Selfridges, which is kind of like a Macy's in the UK.
I've heard of it.
And it's pretty cool. And so we were wandering around there, and we met this girl that watches our content. And generally, obviously you guys know this, when you guys probably experience it all the time. When you see people that watch your content, they'll say, I love your content, you know.
Have a short conversation.
You have like a really quick conversation about social media, whatever it is. It doesn't really go below surface level, does it? Like, it's kind of just like a, thank you so much for watching our stuff, blah, blah, blah. This girl, she watched our content and she said, oh, you're Sam and Monica. And then she goes, do you believe in aliens? I really want to live off grid. And starts going into these crazy deep, like conspiracy theories and things that she was. And the only other person that would ever talk about stuff like that was my mum. Like, she was
like
so
every
into like
conversation that his mom would talk about. Like, she always talked about, I want to live off grid, grow my own vegetables, and like all these like random things that she would talk about. And this girl just immediately, before she even said like, I love watching your videos, she's like, oh my gosh, Sam and Monica, I watch your stuff. Do you believe in aliens, by the way? And then like his mom always talked about aliens and like all these spiritual stuff. Like, every conversation that she brought up to us, I literally like started tearing up because I'm like, I feel like I'm talking to your mom. Like, it was so weird. It was so weird.
And then it gets even crazy because I hadn't mentioned anything about my mum even having cancer on social media. Like, no one knew anything. And I hadn't mentioned my mum during this conversation. This girl, after like 20 minutes of talking to me, turns to me completely random. She goes, I can really feel your mum's energy around you, Sam. I was like, what? And she said, yeah, I just really need to give you a big hug right now. And she gave me the biggest hug I've ever had in my entire life. I was like, I was shaking because I hadn't mentioned anything about my mum. It was the weirdest thing. So after that, we got done with it. So we kind of said our goodbyes, all that kind of stuff. After that, I was like, I can't do any more shopping. Like, I've got to go lie down. So we went back to the hotel, and my mom was an amazing cook. Like, she would cook incredible food every night. And I was like a proper mummy's boy. So like every time she was cooking, we'd be in the kitchen singing and dancing together and stuff like that. And we had this song together. It came out in 2006. It's called Never Be Lonely. And like I said, came out in 2006. This was 2021. I hadn't heard this song in 10 years. And as we walk into the hotel, playing on the radio is Never Be Lonely, like the chorus of the song. So I went up to the front desk. I was like, what is this? Like, is this? And he was like, oh, it's just general radio station kind of thing. I was like, that is so, because that was like our song. It was like, it was so weird. Go upstairs, check into our room, just been cleaned, brand new room. Well, obviously not brand new, but like, it just been cleaned. And we were lying in bed. I was reading through some conversations with my mum, like, you know, of her last days, like telling each other we loved each other and all that kind of stuff, like really in my feels. And Monica was on FaceTime to her sister Jacqueline, and she was telling her all about these crazy experiences we just had. And then she jumps out of bed, freaks out, and
her sister's like, what is happening? Because like I got up really quick because like I felt something like just brush my head.
Like a pat. She felt like someone stroked her head.
Like a nice like little pat on the top of my head. I jumped out of bed. He's like freaking out, like what just happened? And here I am thinking like I'm going insane. Like I feel like I'm going crazy. But we have a picture.
We'll show you guys after. We got a picture. There's a handprint on the headboard
right
directly
behind
where her head was.
You could see like a handprint. And I was like,
and it was
maybe
gone 10 minutes
it's in
later.
the wood. Maybe that's like engraved like in the wood or something. It was gone like 10 minutes later, the morning, gone. We weren't doing nothing freaky where my hands were on the bed or nothing. Like it was like, I don't know how a handprint got like right above my head. Like it was insane, but we took a picture because we're like, no one would ever believe this story if we didn't like have the picture.
So you hadn't talked about your mom at all on social media when that girl came up? What about like, and nobody knew that she had cancer? Nobody knew anything at all?
No, we've been completely private. I mean, it happened so fast, and we've been so private about the entire thing. I posted, I think, like that evening about it after it had happened. But it was mad.
That's crazy.
So that's why I'm like, there's definitely something after.
That's what, so very, very long roundabout story short. That's why I fully believe like there's something after.
Yeah. That's super hard because that was December of 21. You got married just a few months later.
February 22, And we actually had our wedding planned for June of 21, but we had a really bad situation with our wedding venue. We paid the deposit for, was it 150 guests?
Something like that,
130 guests or something. And then it was in New York. It was on Long Island. And that was obviously during the height of COVID. So the governor of New York passed whatever it is, legislation, whatever it's called, to say that only 50 people maximum can be at a wedding. So we spoke to our wedding venue and we said, well, can we just put like the rest of, the deposit for the 130 people or whatever it was towards the rest of, so we have 50 people. And the wedding venue were like, no, what we're going to do is because you've signed a contract for 130 or 150 people, you can have 50 people at the wedding, but you've got to pay for 150 and we'll give you 100 spare meals.
I was like, what are we going to do with 100 meals? We're not going to get through
That's
that.
ridiculous.
It's horrible, isn't it?
So we had to postpone the wedding.
So we postponed the wedding, and sadly my mum didn't get to see us get married.
But she got to see the dress.
And she saw the wedding ring.
The wedding ring. So, yeah.
That's really sad.
It's actually, not to get too deep, but we were actually in the jeweler picking out Monica's wedding ring when my dad called me to tell me that it had been diagnosed as cancer, which was crazy. So obviously we didn't buy it that day. We left and went to the hospital straight away. But
that's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm so
sorry. How have you been doing?
Oh man, I don't want to say it's getting easier, because it's definitely not easier. Like, I think about it all day, every day still, but I'm learning to live with it a lot easier now, a lot more now. I don't know. I think when she first passed away, my dad and my two sisters. What? Sorry.
It makes me cry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I want to be there for my boys.
You will be.
I'm gonna start crying any second now. Don't do this to me. It's happening. It's happening.
I'm so sorry.
When my mum first passed away, like, my mum and dad were together like 35 years, and it was such a shock to my dad that he just completely went within himself and couldn't do anything. So in a way, it kind of made it easier for me that I had to switch my mindset when she passed away, and I had to be the one to, like, we planned the funeral and we called my mum's brothers, and had to call around all the friends and family, and pick up her stuff from the hospital and all that, kind of like get everything sorted, all the logistics of it. And I think that kind of helped, that I had to, like, I was kind of forced into, like, switching my mindset.
Making me cry.
I'm sorry, darling.
Look at us. This is not okay.
And then I think I just kind of numbed it for a while, but it got,
Yeah.
like I said, it didn't get easier, but I'm learning to live with it a lot more.
He really, you stepped up like crazy. Like, he had such a brave face on and was able to do all these things that I would never be. Like, I would just shut down completely. You were so amazing. And that just made me be you're literally the strongest man I've ever met in my entire life. It was incredible. I don't know how you did it, but he's the best. I'm gonna cry again.
That's really sweet.
Thank you. Anyway, switching up. Oh, and I got a tattoo of my mum, by the way.
That's cool. I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah, so after my mum passed away, you know how every mum's got a calendar in their kitchen? I think it's just a mum thing, isn't it? And not to get bloody sad again, my grandma passed away 2 months before my mum. So my mum had wrote mum's birthday in the calendar for my grandma, meaning my grandma's birthday. So we had her handwriting saying mum in the calendar, and Monica found it and took a picture of it. And I got it tattooed. So that's her handwriting.
That's so cool the way
she
wrote
That's
that
really
well.
sweet.
Yeah, and it's kind of a double meaning, because it's kind of for my grandma as well, considering my mum wrote that word for my grandma, meaning for her birthday. So
that's beautiful.
Really
Your mom has
sweet.
really good handwriting.
She does, doesn't she?
That looks
so cool.
It looks so eloquent.
Thank you. I think the tattoo artist did an amazing.
Yeah,
he got it perfect. So yeah, I got very lucky with finding. Well, you got very lucky.
And the tattoo on your finger, what is that one?
Oh man, you don't want to ask about that.
Wait,
one.
why not?
That's switching gears dramatically. So when
it was free, we were
when we first started dating,
they're let's get a tattoo.
When we first started dating, I think I was 19. We were in New York, and there was this tattoo parlor down the road that were doing free tattoos, but it was done by apprentices, to build up their experience. But it was free, and we just had to tip, and it had to be smaller than an inch square. So I called my parents, and I was in a silly little rebellious phase at the time. And so I called my parents, and I said, I want to get a tattoo. And my dad said, well, if you want to get a tattoo, don't get it anywhere visible. Don't get it on your face, don't get it on your neck, don't get it on your hands, on your arms, anything like that, because you won't be able to get a good job. And I was going through a rebellious phase. I was like, screw you, Dad, I don't want a job. I want to work for myself. And so this is a Viking symbol that means create your own reality. And I got it on my hand because it was my way of telling my dad.
You stole my idea.
Now I want to get that on my neck.
Wait, so did you get yours at that same place?
Yeah, mine's also free. It looks cool from afar, but up close,
oh my, it's terrible.
So
I had to have it redone.
So
you guys can feel it in a minute.
I don't know
you can
why
feel
we
it
did
scarred
that.
over and everything.
Dude,
It's
Why
terrible.
did we do that?
I would never
Why
get
did we do that?
I regret that.
But it's
so
a memory,
much.
you know.
It's a bad memory. It looks so bad.
What are your thoughts on the neck tattoos? I think when people have that line from their ear on
Doesn't
their neck.
Justin Bieber have something like
Yeah,
that?
I think it
Yeah.
looks so
I think
dope.
it's cool, but I think it's got to be on a specific type of person. I don't think it would suit me, but I think it
I don't
suits
know.
Justin
Do you guys
Bieber
have
amazing.
You're a pretty boy. You
So
can't.
we have our matching lip tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, stop. What does it say?
Does that say dude?
Dude.
Oh my gosh, that's
Stop.
so
That is
cool.
so
When did you get that?
We got that.
I can't regret it because I never see it. I forget about it. But
Yeah, I
That
forget.
is so cool.
But yeah,
we knew
did
at the
that
time that
back
it
in.
was stupid. Kinda, not really.
It was 2020 when we got those matching lip tattoos.
So sweet, honey.
Why did you get dude? Was that
Literally,
thing
there's
between
not a
you
good
two?
reason.
It was kind of our thing for a while because I call Abby dude. You know?
don't call me dude
I don't really do it
anymore.
as
Actually,
much.
I remember that on your social media,
Yeah.
everything.
don't call
Didn't
me
you say
dude
hey
anymore.
dudes? and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
yeah. That
So-
was years ago.
Yeah, it's
That's so cool, but that's a memory
The
that you guys
tattoos,
are always
they
going to
kept
have.
telling us, like, it's gonna not last. Like, it's still
You're like,
there.
it's still there.
Is it there? I don't look at it ever.
I can see
yeah, no,
it.
it's still there.
How many times do you flip your lip down?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I
Never.
forget about this, but then I go to the dentist and I'm like,
You're like, by the way.
I
Oh
forgot
my
to tell
gosh.
them. Every time I forget to tell them, they're like, did you do little? And I'm like, let's not.
Hey, real quick, this won't take long. I just wanted to thank you guys for being here. Like, the fact that you're here right now listening to this episode means the world to us. We've put in a ton of work on this podcast, and we honestly did not expect for this to happen. We've gotten to sit down with some incredible guests, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you so much. If you have gained any value at all from this episode, if you would please consider sharing the episode with a friend or family member, it would mean the world to us. We love meeting you guys out in public. Like, when you come up and say hi to us, it means the world to us, and we're very thankful. So thank you for sharing the episode, and now let's get back into it. You guys recently consulted a psychic.
That's what I was getting.
About like how like kids and when
About
you're
what
gonna.
might be next.
Yeah, but
So-
now here's the thing. We
You
don't
know
know
what's
if we
crazy?
believe that lady. It was like a random like
It was a
ad
phone
that
number?
we saw. It was like, call the number. We're like, this would be kind of fun for a video.
You know what? We went to a psychic in New York. It was just after my mum passed away, so I wanted to like talk about my mum, and I thought it like helped me heal and stuff like that. And she said that you shouldn't really talk about people before like
It's like
6
a
months
history,
after they
yeah.
pass away or something. So we didn't actually end up really talking about my mum. But she made like a bunch of predictions for our life and stuff. And this was before we moved to New York. This was
To Florida.
sorry, Florida. We were in New York before we moved to Florida. This was like probably March or April of 22.
Yeah.
And I remember the psychic said, you're going to find a place, it's going to be hot weather, you're going to be by the water, and you're going to stay there for the rest of your life.
And here I am, never thinking I'm leaving New York. So I was like, oh.
And we
that's
had
not
no
happening.
plans to move at that time. We were like, no, we're not going to. And she was like, yeah, you're moving in the next few months. And we moved in May to St. Augustine, Florida, and
So
we love it,
everything-
and we're never leaving.
That lady was like a real psychic. Everything that woman said actually did like.
You think
But
she
I
was
still-
legit?
I
That-
don't
that
know.
Was there
was
anything
legit.
though that she said that was like, that didn't happen?
You know
that
what,
wasn't true.
With that lady?
Did they let
No.
you record? Like
Yeah.
when you go in, can you
I did a
record?
voice note. I recorded a voice note
But
on my phone.
the one for the video, that
No,
was just
but
a
wait,
random lady.
I'm so sorry to just backtrack really quickly. She got the creepiest thing was with your grandpa. Her grandpa. Firstly, she guessed his name.
Yeah.
She guessed her grandpa's name, and she said it begins with R, and she was like, "It's not Rob, it's Rich,"
Which was his name.
which was his name.
Weird.
And we reached out to this woman through a fake email address. Like she made like a
Yeah, I
temporary
didn't give
fake
my name.
email
I didn't
address
give
and
my
stuff.
phone number. Like nothing where she could like look up my stuff
Yeah.
beforehand. It was like a random throwaway email.
And then she said, "I'm getting what she said. I'm getting something with L and 3 or something like that."
Oh yeah, so my grandpa. So I have 3 siblings. So he used to call us like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So I was number 4.
'Cause she's
And
the youngest.
My sister Liz is number 3, and the woman was like, "I'm getting something with your grandpa, like number 3 and the letter L. Like, does that mean anything to you?" And I was like that it's not anything that was ever shared online or
And
anything.
Monica was
how
kind of
do you
like
know
quiet
that?
about it, and she said, "Yeah, like I feel like it relates to a person, and this person's going through some life changing stuff." And then Monica got up and was like, she was like, "Okay, I give it up. Like, yeah, L is Liz. 3
Yeah.
was her number from my grandpa." And this was just after she talked about
She
her grandpa.
described like what was in my grandma's room when she passed away. Like that one was a legit psychic.
it's yeah, her grandma was in a Catholic nursing home run by nuns. And it was a thing that they did after her grandma passed away. All the nuns stood around her bed and like prayed and chanted and stuff like that, or whatever it's called. But there was like 30 of them in the room. And that's a very rare thing. Like, how often do you get a bunch of nuns around your bedside when you pass away chanting and
But
praying
she
and
knew
stuff like that?
the wording in the room, like she was describing the decor, like it was crazy.
It was
But the
weird.
one for the video was a random ad we saw for like it would be kind of
We're like,
funny.
yeah, it would be fun to film.
I don't know how accurate that woman was because you
No.
pay by the minute. It was like $3 a minute. So we were like, let's do this quick. But she was like dragging everything
Do you have her
out.
number?
Like it was so,
Probably
so
somewhere.
bad. I don't even remember what she said. I think she said we were having. Did she say 2 kids?
I can't remember.
I want 4 kids. So like. I hope
She was
she's
wrong.
not right. I think
I hope
she's
she's
wrong.
not right.
I think she's wrong. I think it's going to be at least 3.
Well, this is always what we've kind of debated over, isn't it? This is like the
Yeah.
ongoing debate. Growing up, I always wanted 1 kid.
That's
and
such
now
a
I've
lie,
said
guys.
I want 2. Is it not?
Such a lie.
lie?
In the beginning, he always said he wanted 2 kids. I wanted 4. I said,
I
let's
said
meet at
growing
3.
up I wanted 1.
But
Now I've
it's-
switched. I want 2.
You're such a liar. You're only starting at 1, so you pretend
So we
you
meet
went
in the middle
up.
at 2.
I'm going down to 3. You got to go up. Like you're pretending you started at 1. You started at 2. You can't have 1. You got to have at least 2.
They gotta have a buddy.
Yeah, so
and
I
then
want
they
2.
need to have another.
Okay, if you guys hang out to see when Griffin and Og get back,
There.
if you get to see them chase each other in the kitchen, it will melt your heart.
Oh,
like
my baby fever, it's here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, me and you.
It's so much fun.
So wait, like this year, you think?
Well,
the psychic said within the next 12 months.
We actually haven't said anything on social media about this. I guess because it's kind of like, it's not taboo, but like she stopped birth control like a month ago.
Oh.
So we're kind of playing Russian roulette.
That's kind of.
My mom was really fertile. So she's like, I'm excited.
We're not actively trying, but if it happens, then it happens.
I would not be surprised if you're pregnant right now. That happened to us.
Can you imagine?
That happened to us.
The Unplanned podcast.
Abby pulled the goalie and boom, like it right away.
I really hope one of our like closest friends just found out they're pregnant, so we're like,
no way,
our babies could grow up.
Oh,
together.
It's the funniest thing
on.
because she lives. So yeah, one of her best friends. She doesn't have any family in town or anything, and we've got a couple of Airbnbs that we rent out and stuff. So we were across town doing some renovations on an Airbnb, and she called Monica's friend, and said, "You need to get here right now." And Monica was like, "No, I'm busy. Like do you want to come here or something?" And she sent a picture of this pregnancy test that had like a very, very faint.
Yeah, you couldn't tell in the
line.
picture that it said pregnant. And I'm like, oh, she's pranking me. Like, what's going on?
And so Monica was like, "You're pranking me. Like, this is definitely a prank." So we drove over to her house anyway, and turns out she was pregnant. And,
so I'm like, this would be perfect timing.
Yeah.
And you have young kids.
So now they want to be pregnant
together.
together.
I'm like,
but oh my gosh, it was so funny because when she told her husband, it was in our house that she told her husband, and for some reason she wanted us to be there, which was awesome. Like, it was an awesome thing to be part of. And her husband goes up, like gets up the stairs, gets into the kitchen, and she says that she's got this box of t-shirts for him. So he opens the box, and obviously there's the pregnancy, the test, the clear blue test in there. And this dude has never done a British accent in his entire life. He turns around and he goes, "We're having a baby." He was on this proper Cockney accent.
Going into shock was just turning British.
Having a baby.
He just turned British. So yeah, maybe when pregnant, you never know.
Maybe.
That'd be funsy.
Monica,
are you one of those people that test a lot?
Yeah. Even when I was on birth control, I was like constantly like
in my
head. I'm like, I just get really like, I don't know. I'm just convinced. Like if my stomach hurts, I'm like, oh my God, I'm pregnant.
She'll literally eat Chipotle and she'll be like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, sweetheart, you don't show for like 6 weeks.
And the comments don't help too. Like if I'm wearing if I just ate and I'm wearing a dress, they're like, wow, like congratulations. Like it's never like, are you pregnant? It's like, congrats. I'm like, wow,
you're
I feel
that
great.
sure of yourself.
I feel so good about myself right now.
Did you guys ever have any pregnancy scares while you were dating? Because you mentioned that your mom was really fertile, so I didn't know.
Yeah, my mom literally, as soon as I said, because my mom is like, for the past probably 5 years, she's like, have a baby. I'm the youngest though. I'm the youngest kid in the family.
Her and Monica's mum and my grandma have teamed up to guilt trip us into having kids. So every time I see my grandma now, she literally
would be so cute.
She's in great health, but she literally turns to me. She's like, I'm getting older. All my friends have great grandchildren. I'm not going to be here much longer time. I'm like, oh my gosh, Nanny, chill.
We're all ready.
Like, you're fine.
But I think that you've gotten to the point now where you're ready. Because like
I'm pretty
in the
much
beginning, he didn't even know how to hold a baby. Sam would be like,
I was
terrified of babies. But now, like the other day, we were at a restaurant and I could see Sam like looking at someone. I'm like, if I look and there's like a woman over there, because like he was looking with like loving eyes, and I'm like, who is sat over there? And it was just like a little baby girl. And he was
also
smiling.
that has never happened. I've never looked lovingly at a woman in a restaurant.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, is he looking at who is he looking at like that? But it was just like a cute little baby. So I'm like, the baby fever is hitting. It's happening.
It's time.
So get ready, guys.
It's funny, dude, when you become a dad, you just start noticing kids so much more. Like, I never, before becoming a dad, would be like, oh my gosh, babe, you see those cute
that's
kids?
my existence of my entire life. Every time I would just, I could feel, like I walk in a room, I'd be like, there's a baby in here
that's
somewhere.
me. That's
really
literally me.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like drawn to the baby.
Yeah, like I'm just like...
Oh my gosh!
Where's
I'm like,
it at?
Give me all the babies. I want to hold all the babies. Like I'm so excited to be a mom.
She's got the weirdest thing where she smells them and says they smell
like
good.
the baby
smell
smell?
amazing. It's
Like
a
the
thing.
head?
Wait, it's actually a thing? I thought it was a
Go
Monica
sniff
thing.
our baby in like 10 minutes.
Thank you. I told you that's a real thing. They just
Especially
have,
when
like,
they're
that baby
fresh.
smell.
When they're fresh.
Not fresh out of
She
the cooch.
said
but
no.
No, I don't want to smell that.
Is this a social media thing or a Monica thing? When someone has a newborn baby, Monica says they're not quite defrosted yet.
No, like when they post a picture, the
They're like
baby like just came out. It's
They
like,
so
let the baby
wrinkly.
de-thaw for like 2 minutes.
De-thaw. Oh my gosh. Is that Monica
Yo,
thing?
but the thing about it is that the parents can't see it. So like
Yeah,
that was
they're like,
us.
oh,
Like we're
so
like,
beautiful.
our baby's beautiful, and then like we look back now, we have the fog is lifted, and it's like,
It's like a purple
okay,
little
I'm
eye.
glad that he changed from when he first arrived.
Newborns look like aliens, bro. but when it's your kid, you're like, they're the most
don't
beautiful
care.
Okay,
person.
but why
Yeah.
do I feel? Yeah. Okay, we can talk about this later.
Yeah.
How many kids do you guys want? Do you want to have more?
I think. Yeah, we're.
Nothing is more attractive than when you say you want more babies. Stop.
I want more baby.
We can leave for like 10 minutes if you guys want.
No, not anytime soon.
Wait, how have you guys kept all this at bay? Because she's been wanting to have kids for a while.
Yeah, Matt's like trying to take notes because he couldn't hold me back.
What type of method have you guys just been freaking like risking it, or like I don't know?
For the last month or 2
months.
Yeah. I mean, before that, we were using protection, but I'm very logical about things. I think with my mind and Monica thinks with her heart. And so Monica was like, as soon as she gets an ounce of baby fever, she's like, I need a baby. Like, doesn't matter about financial position or living position.
That's how we are with it. Abby wants to buy a new house, and we've been here for 2 years. We talked about that was the last podcast.
You guys have such a gorgeous house.
Thank you so much.
I love this house.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you?
Well, I love your house. If you guys move out,
Thank you.
I
love our house too. I think it's beautiful.
We're actually planning on squatting here for just for like a couple of months.
Bro, hey, honestly,
the door's open.
Send it. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So talking about houses, we are just about to start building a house for ourselves because we've been living in an apartment since we moved to Florida, so just over 2 years ago. Yeah. And we've got Airbnbs, and we're building a property portfolio slowly for some passive income and wants, because I'm worried about like social media hasn't been around for long, and like it's an amazing, like it's our dream career right now, but you never know how long it's going to last. So we want to be set up for the future and kind of figure it out from there. But we never thought about needing more space for ourselves until we started seriously having a baby chat. So
and our dog is like our life. That's my baby right now. Sonny's like my absolute world. So I'm like, I just want him to have a backyard. Yeah, like that's my main thing right now.
So yeah, we bought some land in January, and we spent from January to kind of mid to late April designing plans with an architect. So we've kind of designed our house now, and that's all finished. We'll show you guys after.
Oh, dude.
And we're just about to go to permitting and stuff like that, and then we'll start building hopefully in the next like 4 months.
Wow.
So.
But the psychic did say, back to the psychic, that I was going to find out I'm pregnant while I'm building something. And this was before we even talked about building a house. So I'm like, maybe we'll be building a house. I don't know.
I was at the gym today. I was listening to your YouTube video about asking my wife juicy questions. You got kind of juicy in that one.
We try.
Sometimes you get a little...
Yeah, we maybe push it a little bit too far. Also, I was going to text you this morning asking if you wanted to work out, and I was like, actually, you probably don't want to work out in this tiny little hotel gym I was in.
Dude, I should have had you at my gym today. Dang it.
You're good, man. You're good. Next time we visit, 100%.
Yeah.
We'll be workout buddies. But what was I going to say? Yeah, no, like we've tried to find some fun locations and stuff.
I think it's the locations that are...
Oh, you guys are location
going
people.
Up a mountain.
Yeah, like the gondolas that bring you up a mountain.
Wait, no.
like
Actually? Yeah. You sent it on a gondola.
Yeah.
How did you cover the window?
You said sent it.
How did you cover the window?
He stood by. It was an open one. He stood behind me, and like
we were trying to be so kind. We were like, oh, look at the mountain over there.
You know, like we're going up. There's people coming down. So Sam would be like, hey, how are you? And he's just behind me, like making it look like nothing's happening.
How do you guys manage to get this information out of us?
That was.
Were you wearing a dress? Like, how do you do that?
I think I was wearing a dress.
Yeah, I think you were, or skirt, or whatever it was.
How is that? But then how do you make it look like your pants are still on, or you don't?
It's like covered, so it's like it was like covered.
Is there not a security camera in the gondola?
We have to go back there and have a gondola baby.
That's
you guys have a cruise baby. We need a gondola.
Man.
See, we've never sent it like that. We're just we're bedroom people.
There was a cave once. That was cool.
A cave?
Yeah.
A cave, yeah.
That was so cool.
A cave.
That was fun.
Did you guys have to like snorkel through this cave to like make it like what type of cave we're talking about?
There's like a little tiny waterfall, and we just like swam in. And then, anyways, moving on.
I'm impressed. Honestly, that's amazing. Good for you guys.
I mean, you got to keep it fresh after almost 9 years.
It's that dopamine rush, right? It's that
adrenaline.
See, there you go.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Have you seen that whole kind of movement?
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm like, Matt, you got to wrap it up.
I thought that was fun.
Now you need to say your craziest place.
We don't.
Just let it out.
We're not fun.
I'm trying to think.
Matt's like, actually stand right where you're sitting right now.
Probably.
Actually, yeah. One time on your.
Oh, wonderful.
That's what that stain is?
Oh, honey.
I had to. I'm so sorry.
No. I think. Yeah, I think when we first got married, we were moving Abby out of her old like house.
Okay.
Okay. Was you want me to say this?
Oh God.
They probably watch this.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Well, it was her roommate's rug. It was just
On a
like
rug? Was that painful?
we just kind of sent it, you know.
Sent it, quite literally speaking.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Anyway.
There we go.
Please.
Now we're all even.
Yeah, we're even now. Gosh, a gondola. That is like, that's inspiring.
Thank you.
I'm glad we could be here to inspire you.
Wow. Love that.
Well, you guys,
Changing
thank
rooms,
you.
Dressing rooms.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm stopping.
Okay, but here's why I bring this up. Like, you guys were dating long distance. You guys would like be apart and then not see each other. So I'm sure you guys were freaking like doing it like rabbits when you guys saw each other.
Yeah.
For the first like 48 hours. You know, you guys seen Twilight? It's when Edward Cullen and Bella Swan get married, and then they get a little house together.
Oh my gosh,
and then they come back
yes.
and Carlisle and Emmett are there, and they're like, really? Like no one could stand to be within, 10 feet of us for a decade or whatever he said. It's like that.
But this is my like first, like I said, my first boyfriend. So like we had to go a little crazy.
Yeah, you guys.
You gotta get all the experiences out there.
What do you mean for the next guy?
No.
For when Harry Styles finally messages you back?
Please, I can't.
Well, you guys, this has been so much fun getting to chat with you. If you haven't already followed Sam and Monica, you can find them on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You're probably on Facebook. Where else can people
OnlyFans.
find?
Or Santa's a Twitter.
Not OnlyFans.
Not OnlyFans.
Don't go
Definitely
looking for them
OnlyFans.
on OnlyFans. You won't find an OnlyFans.